Hey everyone, Beyond the Bottom Shelf is a podcast in which we delve into books that explore sensitive and controversial topics such as sexual violence, bestiality, and body horror. We analyze this material with an irreverent air. If you do stick around, we hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to Beyond the Bottom Shelf. I'm Jules.
And I'm Ash.
And this is the podcast that delves into books that have been relegated to the bottom shelf. The daring, campy, transgressive, the unapologetically sleazy and tasteless. We read it all, and we savor it.
Find out which works of fiction we deem eligible to stay on the bottom shelf and which ones transcend into an honored rank of their own. We call this place Beyond the Bottom Shelf. Hey everyone.
Welcome back. I'm just pulling up my notes.
Oh, true. I need to get my notes too. Oh, wait, I already got it. Okay, so what should we talk about?
We can talk about movie night.
Okay.
Because I don't know, I like the premise. So maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks, we'd like to do it more often. We get together and have a movie night.
Yes,
We got a nice TV,
very nice.
You can't be bragging about
lots
your
of
TV.
4K DVDs. No, so the premise is we don't stream movies. We have to go to the closet and select a movie, and everybody
Yeah.
selects a movie. Or if you don't select a movie, you vote on a movie that maybe a friend here picked. For example, Ash chose Dog Soldier.
Dog soldiers.
Soldiers
She thought it
with
was
S.
called Cop Werewolf or something. Wolf Cop or something.
Wolf Cop.
I've chose some other bangers. Okay, in the past, I chose Dolls, Stuart Gordon.
Wow.
Oh wait, that
That was
one.
one. I chose Krampus.
You chose Dolls?
Which we didn't really like.
Yeah,
Dolls was awesome. That was an
Dolls was
awesome
good.
movie night.
Yeah.
yeah, that was fun. See, I come out with bangers.
Krampus we watched. Oh yeah, my sister was there. I remember
Oh, that wasn't really a movie night thing. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
They
I
didn't
did
officially get
kept
voted
choosing
on.
it, and no one voted for it.
Nothing of mine has ever won, I realize. And how
Aw.
we look up a dice roller online. We roll the dice. And Jacob likes to say that's the funnest part of movie night.
Yeah. Watching the movie sucks.
Yeah,
But
we
doing the game to select the movie is a lot of fun.
Lots
And we
of
tried to extend
anticipation.
it so it lasts like an hour.
It is funny. No, I was getting excited about this one because I thought that, call back from the convention. One of our friends who was with us bought one of Gary Lee Vincent movies. And I thought that was going to be, one of the...
Yeah, you told Ash that he was bringing the movie.
He
And
did
then-
bring it, and then the car broke down, and he left him in the car because Brandon picked him up.
Oh yeah, our friend. Yeah, his car did break down.
So we didn't get to watch Gary Lee Vincent. And then we were talking about oh, how fun on the show would it be?
To
if
talk
we-
about
Yeah, but
Yeah,
no.
now we have nothing to talk about. Which is why this is so boring at the beginning.
the universe was against us.
Yeah.
They didn't want us to watch it. But next movie night, we can watch Gary Lee Vincent.
True.
Yeah.
We ended up watching Dark Man. Y'all ever heard of that?
Ashley didn't like it.
It's
She
fine.
liked Diary of a Wimpy Kid more.
I did.
Did you review Dark Man yet?
No, I don't know. I mean, maybe it would have been a little bit different. It's just that the 4K was just really
Oh,
exasperating.
that you could see like the green
How
screen.
terrible it is. Yeah, it looked really goofy. I'm sure
I
it
mean,
would have
even the
fine.
best movies in the world, though, it'll have that effect
Yeah.
on older stuff and stuff like Lord of the Rings trilogy.
But this one was over
It
the
reveals
top.
a lot of the flaws.
When he was like flying out of the building,
And you got to
could
remember
s-
that
Sam
the
Raimi.
compositing effects in the 90s. I mean, it was just that shit was just really difficult. It was before modern PCs and computers and stuff. But yeah, no, Sam Raimi's does some weird intentional camp silliness, and he does a lot of it in this movie. And sometimes it's hard to decipher the difference between what he's intentionally doing and what's just cheesy.
Like take the fucking
Dated.
elephant.
Yeah,
I kind of
that's definitely intentional. But him flying through the air, I think that's intentional because if you watch Evil Dead 2, there's like a lot of that kind of like silly Looney Tunes kind of stuff like that. But you'd have to watch it. I think it kind of the more of his stuff you watch, the more what he's doing on
We've
individual
seen
movies
Evil
makes
Dead.
sense.
Oh, Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2, yeah. Because Evil Dead 2 is very, very goofy. But then Army of Darkness, the third one, is even more goofy.
I kind of like the one thing I really liked about it was I don't know if this was intentional or not. I mean, I think you said it was, but I thought it had a very it seemed very similar to Phantom of the Opera. No,
Yeah, no.
in terms of like disfigurement and like hiding, and
It's a little bit of a
revenge.
Frankenstein thing.
Yeah.
Frankenstein's monster thing. A little bit of a Phantom of the Opera thing. Yeah, there was a universal monsters sort of theme and homage going on throughout.
I thought that part was cool.
Because then there's the science angle with like the Invisible Man, scientist angle. Then and then so no, definitely you're onto something there.
It was fun to watch.
No, overall it was fun. It was a fun time. I kind of like the more schlocky movies we watch. It's way more fun.
Yeah, no, Darkman's like borderline like, like real movie compared to the shit we usually watch.
I know it was more of a. That's why I think I didn't
like an
really want to
art
watch
film.
it. I was kind of sad when it got chosen.
Yeah, we wanted to watch Gary Lee Vincent and
I did.
Vinegar Syndrome movies and stuff like that.
But I was gonna say something about. Oh yeah, and then we learned
Flesh Merchant.
how tall Liam Neeson was because somebody was like, he's like as tall as when he's bending down next to taxis.
I didn't realize Liam Neeson was so good looking.
Girl, I knew you were gonna say that, but his teeth were weird.
His little small teeth.
He looked cute. I was like, okay.
I think
didn't realize.
he's cute or older to me.
Is he? I don't know. I didn't
still
realize.
pretty old there. I mean, not old, but he was in his 40s probably.
Really?
Yeah, he
I've
looked
never
old.
seen him like a young Liam Neeson. I've never seen it before. I was into it.
Remember, isn't he like in Ponyo? He's like the evil guy.
Yeah, I think he is, yeah.
I remember as a kid because I was like, I had just seen Taken and then I watched Ponyo. I was like, that's the guy. But yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty good banter.
thank you.
Yeah.
True.
By the way, Ash, Ed gave me all those movies, so I have them.
Oh, he did? How?
Yeah, well, this morning I saw him, and he gave them all to me because
Oh,
they were in
that's
his vehicle,
nice.
so we can watch them.
Yeah, we'll watch him next time.
All right, cool.
Did you give him the Switch?
I never found it.
Okay, that's a different topic.
We gotta cut this. Okay, here we go. We can do that little rainbow sound.
It
I'll-
started as a game.
Stop. Okay.
Wait, is that the transition? Because I know nothing about this book.
Yeah, it
That's what
says it across
on
the top.
Oh, I see.
It started as a game.
So you guys tell us a little bit about this book and how it differs from some of the other stuff we've covered.
So we promised you guys we did read Spin the Bottle. Now, Spin the Bottle is a little bit more tame.
Compared to.
Maybe very much tame than what we usually read. In terms of for this podcast.
We went from dinosaur sex
Erotica
to this.
yeah. So we live in the deep South, so we're very familiar with, the different states around that area, including South Carolina. So we thought it was a cool, thing.
We know the terrain.
Yeah, exactly.
And the sights and the sounds.
And the sounds.
And the feeling and atmosphere.
Yeah.
We're gonna
And he
be.
captures that reasonably well in this.
No, I think so.
Yeah, it was cool. I thought.
Yeah, and I think you guys were just so used to bizarre sex stuff and people eating doo-doo or whatever that like a nice tender moment between father and daughter like really got to you a little bit or sort of.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Yeah.
I thought it was some sweet.
I remember when Ashley started the book before.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. So we can kind of
Yeah,
back up and go through it.
Yeah, but Ashley texted me when she started. I was like, "How do you like it?" She was like, "It actually got to me a little bit the first chapter," and I was like all excited to read it. And like, I do think it has a good start. But yeah, anyways.
All right, Julia, tell us about our author, Bryce Gibson.
All right, so we met Bryce Gibson at the horror convention that we went to. We bought 4 of his books, got all of them signed. This is a man that knows how to sell.
Yeah,
Oh,
we should
yes.
talk a little bit about his whole aesthetic and presentation, and because for a local writer, he's got a kind of a showman. I don't want to sound insulting. I was about to say used car salesman vibe because he's very pitchy. He pitches all his
when
books.
we walked up there, he had like this.
But
nice,
it's very charming. It's not annoying.
Yeah, it's very charming. He's very like humble in a way. He's like a very sweet voice, and he like knew exactly like when we went up there. He's like, do you want to hear a little bit about my books? And we're like, yeah.
He was ready,
and he knew exactly like elevator pitch for each of his 6 books. I think that he had there, and he this. Let me just tell you, the copies of these books are so much nicer than the Gary Lee Vincent. Like,
100%.
The production or wherever he gets it published is just nicer paper. And
decent like cover art.
Decent cover art, yeah.
Decent graphic design,
not bad at
all
all.
that stuff.
The Spin the Bottle has like a little illustration of a bottle and like smoke all around it. And it's not bad.
I mean, that's how we were. I mean, that was the first book I saw when I came up.
Yeah, and his little napkin elevator pitch was pretty intriguing. Because I remember thinking it sounded pretty intriguing.
He had other books that were based on like trade school, like the evil electric saw or something. Like each one. Do you remember that? He was telling us, and those sounded actually. I don't even know if this was his favorite book he wrote. Like I think the Perennials is one of his more popular ones. But his thing is called. His publishing company is called County Line Horror, and he's like the founder. So it's not like, because I asked him, I was like, oh, is there other authors? It's like solely him. And he writes Southern fiction that takes readers to charming and oftentimes sinister areas of the South. That's what he says about his own.
And I just find it interesting when the artist, writer, filmmaker, whatever, has to also be the one selling it. Usually you'd leave that job to some sort of, some studio or publishing house would be behind you. And they're the ones putting the quotes on the cover and making the website and going, yes, a new voice in horror. You know what I mean? But he's actually kind of like doing both sides of the coin, which I think is very interesting to see.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like what Gary Lee Vincent is doing, but Gary Lee Vincent has multiple people, I guess, that he's like supporting because he started it. But this guy's much more, like, I don't know, more likable. But yeah, he does everything, and his logo is not even bad. Like County Line Horror, he has shirts. If you go on his website, he has what he calls the County Line Horror full crate for $55. It's usually $70, but it comes with 4 of his books, a T-shirt, and a sticker.
Which is a hell of a good deal.
Yeah, for $55.
All that for $55?
And also he lives with his wife and their dog. He does not have children.
I thought he did. And
Ashley was convinced.
I don't know, because I was like, oh, I've heard I don't know, I've heard stuff that he was saying in the book. Like my dad would say stuff like that to me too. So I thought he was a father, but apparently not. I was tricked.
I remember when Ash said that, I looked it up. I was like, oh, I want to see what his kids look like. But yeah,
Jules is the ultimate creep.
I am a
creep.
creep.
Looking up people. If she finds out people have stopped dating or if they broke up with their girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it may be, she's just like, I wonder what they look like.
I have to investigate.
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's just so I'm not even that drunk. I'm not.
Jules, how would you feel if people were investigating you?
I would feel honored. Anyway, our boy Bryce Gibson, he's been writing since he was 10 or 11. I discovered this on a YouTube reel.
One thing people always want to know is how long I've been writing. Well, I've always written, and these are some stories that I wrote when I think I was 10, 11, or 12. They're handwritten on notebook paper. I drew the covers for them.
And I thought that was he's been writing horror for a long time. And I watched a little local interview that he did with a local librarian in the state. And yeah, he gives some advice to aspiring writers. And he just says, write in the genres you want to write in. And he also talked about in that interview how the folklore is really embedded in his stories, which I just thought was interesting to bring up before we could dive in to Spin the Bottle. But
specifically South Carolina or deep South kind of folklore.
Exactly.
South Carolina is just kind of one of those forgotten states, in my opinion, and I feel like it's kind of interesting to bring back the folklore or bring attention to some lore or whatnot that are in these smaller areas of South Carolina. Because there are some nicer areas, but there's also some really rural and run down areas that you don't really know very much. There's a lot of small pockets of towns that are kind of surrounding the bigger city areas,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Which is the areas we love to explore.
Yes.
When you drive into the mountains or something and you see like a little old restaurant, you're like, or a thrift store or something.
Yes, a breakfast joint.
Exactly. That's where the
Yeah.
best breakfast places are.
True.
Yeah. All right. So
Are we ready to dive in?
Oh, did you get through your whole thing?
I guess I was going to read one more thing
Oh,
on his
do it,
little
girl.
mission for County Line Horror because I think this sums it up pretty nicely.
Okay.
My mission for County Line Horror is to provide a variety of original thrillers that connect with the unique sense of place, people, and lifestyle of readers from rural America.
That's cute. I like that.
Little mission statement.
Not a lot of people have a little mission statement. I don't know if Gary Lee Vincent had one.
I think he was talking about like wanting to help voices that often are like smaller voices. So I guess he kind of not as good of a mission statement, but
You talking about Gary Lee Vincent said
yeah,
that?
his
He did?
publishing. Yeah, Bull.
In
Like,
what context did he say that?
on his publishing company, he said like our goal is to like support like writers and artists who
How?
can't find success in mainstream publishing or something.
So he's going to publish you?
Burning Bulb.
Let's look it up.
I'll look it up. Sorry, and then we can.
Because I somehow, it seems like, oh God, I want to talk shit, but I shouldn't do it.
Okay, this is the most basic. Okay, this is it. And maybe I wasn't that in.
Wow.
Burning Bulb Publishing is an internet-based publishing house established in 2009 in West Virginia. Our focus is to bring really interesting books to the marketplace.
Okay.
Oh,
Really interesting.
really
That's a great-
interesting.
That's a great adjective. All right. Bryce Gibson is definitely better, more authentic.
What was that
Really
picture?
interesting books.
I never actually seen the website of
So what do
the
you think
hell's
they
that picture?
actually materially do for you?
I don't know. Do they provide the cover art? Do they like
Yikes.
help stuff like that? You send
I
them
mean, yeah, because at a certain point, without the backing of a real publishing company with money, like I don't know what you can actually provide besides like, okay, maybe you could provide some cover art. You could connect them with a graphic designer. Maybe get the thing on Amazon, like
You could help them get some
digital
reviews.
stores. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what's actually in it for the writer to be a part of something like this, and how the revenue split works. You know, I mean, it seems kind of just a
You
little.
can get it made into
exploitative
a
or
Gary
little
Lee
weird.
Vincent movie.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Maybe that's it.
but it does sound good to say that you're actually doing it not for yourself, but for
Really interesting books.
the small people.
Yeah. Okay, it sounded better in my head. I thought something about small people, but I was just talking about.
No, that's interesting.
Alrighty, guys. So, you know the drill. It's time for the synopsis. Okay, so Spin the Bottle is written by Bryce Gibson. This is a horror story written in a parallel or like dual narrative between a dad, and his name is Aiden, and his teenage daughter, Kelsey. So, in the first chapter, like I said, we're introduced to Kelsey. She's her teenage daughter. Now, Aiden takes away her phone. And, you know, you take a teenage girl's phone away, you're asking for trouble.
I was waiting for that.
I remember being so pissed when my dad would take my phone away from me, especially if I was on it. I'd be like, what the hell?
That actually never happened to me, but
What?
I would be annoyed too.
Okay, so Ada takes her phone away, the dad, because he sees that, you know, some suspicious app on her phone. And the app is a spin the bottle game. Kelsey is hella annoyed at her dad at the moment and thinks that he's being so, quote unquote, extra. That was actually...
when you said that, I thought it was your verbiage. But
No, that was his.
That was
nice.
Or
funny.
no, hers, I guess. She
Why are
was
you
saying,
so extra?
"Maybe it's not extra."
That's what kids say.
So, Aiden also gives us some insight into her personality. Quote, God, I love this kid. Sweet with a touch of defiant and a whole lot of moody. She reminds me of me 30 years ago. So much of her mom in her, too.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. So we
That's
get
good.
a little, you know, insight into who she
characterization.
is. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, we as the readers are just like, why is this dad getting so worked up about this stupid app? Spin the bottle app. Like, it's just such an unreasonable thing to be really mad about. So as he's pissed, he's also getting a message from one of his clients. His name is Brad Lockhart. And this guy has been riding his ass because he's really mad at him. It's just like work drama. So that's already causing him a lot of stress. So now it's revealed that the game that she's playing on her phone, spin the bottom. Aiden has actually had an incident with this game of spin the bottle 17 years ago.
God, it was hard to find the place to hit the
No,
button.
it wasn't 17 years. Holy shit. 1996, so over 30 years ago.
Damn, that was...
Wait, I thought he was like 30s.
Huh?
Was it?
No, it was 30 years ago.
Oh, 30 years ago. Okay.
He was 17 when it happened.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. So, it was he said that it was a book that really, not a book, oh my God. It was an event that really changed his life. Quote, "Looking back, I know what we did was out of simple curiosity. Same as anything Kelsey might be up to today. But once we played this game, that was it. Our fates were sealed. If only we knew that nothing would even be the same again after that night. I doubt we would have ever gone through with it." That was a little too early.
I fucked that up.
So we get a little taste of something that happened, but we don't actually know what the tragedy was or, what happened that causes it to be such a memory for him. Or like,
Why he's so triggered when he sees
why is
it
he
on
so
her phone.
triggered? Okay. So, like I said, Kelsey is cringing right now. And, to kind of keep the peace, she was like, whatever, Dad, like, I'll delete it off my phone, So,
She's a good daughter. I feel like
yeah, they have a sweet little embrace at the end. He's like, I just love you so much. And
it's his only kid. He's protective.
right, I'm just being protective. I'm sorry for being extra, blah, blah, blah. They have a hug, a sweet little forehead kiss, and then it's over. So she goes back upstairs. And then, Aiden's just trying to brush it off. So he goes back to work and starts to look through his emails. So Aiden, by the way, I guess he's like I don't know what to even call him, a promoter, an advertising guy.
He helps small businesses like
Okay.
with advertising and
Okay, like a consultant.
yeah, he's a consultant.
Mm-hmm. So that's why this Brad guy is really pissed because all his little advertising, consulting stuff isn't working for his business.
Gotcha.
So he's just
Does it
blowing
say
up his
any of
phone.
the things he's tried? Like, does it get into details?
I mean, throughout the book that it does. So I'll give some
I'm
examples
excited to hear about the advertising stuff.
So he's going through his emails and he gets one from Piper Hargrove. And Piper was one of the girls who was with him in that incident 30 years ago. So she is coming back in his life. All right. Now, also, she wants some help with her metaphysical store. So
What?
Wait,
Okay,
who?
now we're getting hyper detailed with it. What is that?
I don't know.
No,
Oh, she needs his help with
Piper, yeah, she wants
consulting,
help
advertising.
for
and stuff?
her metaphysical store.
What is that?
What is
say?
that?
I don't know.
Look up metaphysical store. on the
Ethereal
computer.
Zest is what it's called.
Forgot that.
Is it just
detail.
like a
Did you
head
remember that?
shop or like a
No, it's like
vape store?
it's like witchcraft
Crystals.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
My bad. I knew that.
it's like that.
I've never heard of it. I've never heard it referred to as a metaphysical store. Is that what they
Yeah.
call them?
I
It's really
guess
weird.
10
Yeah.
best
Okay,
metaphysics.
my bad.
He definitely looked that up. Bro.
So as he's getting back to work, Aiden notices a tall and dark figure in the backyard. This figure is only present for like a second and then it vanishes. This figure causes him a lot of anxiety as he can't seem to figure out if this was real or just one of his hallucinations from his migraines. So these migraines have...
Hallucinations from
Yeah.
a migraine?
So apparently migraines are causing hallucinations.
This is like a recurring thing in this.
Yeah.
You know how like you can get visual like floaters. and-
yeah, but that's. I mean, like.
I know. I guess
Okay, so it's a figure and it's dark, maybe. Okay, I guess I'll.
that's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. No, what you're saying is true. I just was trying to. When you said hallucinations, that sounds like you're seeing something more
Entire
tangible
entities.
and yeah, exactly.
So after that happens, where he sees the tall man, this figure causes him a lot of anxiety as he can't seem to just like figure out if it's real or not. Okay, I already said that. Okay. So now he's really worried about his daughter's safety. So he's like going around trying to find this hidden figure, but he's just gone and he has no idea. Here we go. What will happen to this father and daughter duo? And what the hell is up with this damn app? You know, what's so crazy about it? Or just this game in general, spin the bottle. I mean, what a lame ass game anyway. Have you ever even played that game?
No, but it seemed like it would be fun. But I was not cool enough to
I feel
hang out
like
with people playing spin
I
the
was a
bottle.
socially awkward person. I could never play that game.
I feel like it's a game that movies act like are played by kids a lot. Like 7
Oh,
Minutes
yeah.
in Heaven. Maybe there's like the only game I played a lot as a kid was like Never Have I Ever or Truth or Dare.
Yeah.
But
Right. Okay. So this all started as a game, but we will see who gets the last laugh. Alrighty. Okay. So Aiden is now out with his girlfriend. His girlfriend's name is Trish, and they are at.
I got a quick question.
What?
Okay, so the first chapter is Aiden's perspective.
Yes.
Second chapter is as well.
Yeah, it is.
Doesn't just automatically go back
No.
and forth every time, every chapter. Okay.
No.
it sometimes sticks with them.
No. Okay, so Aiden is now out with his girlfriend Trish, and they are at this restaurant in town, and this restaurant is actually the old Saluda Waterworks building, which is where the spin the bottle incident happened. So kind of a full circle moment.
It's like one of those, like, I feel like it's like how the pump, like, or I'm not going to say the name of it, but like that restaurant near us got like, everyone's like gentrified. It becomes cool and hip. It's like a old building that was
Yeah.
like a factory. And this is one of my favorite, like, I think this is where his writing ability shown the best
Oh yeah.
in his description of this place.
Oh, definitely.
Do we know at this point, does it reveal at this moment that this is the same place where it happened?
Yeah, it
Is he
does.
sitting there thinking about
Yeah,
that
he's
at
thinking
dinner?
about it.
I'll read you a little quote that he is talking about. The building looming tall and dark in the distance as we approached. Inside our surroundings, damp and musty, all of us in a circle, the bottle on the floor between us.
I like that too.
The new restaurant's auction. It's called Hydrations.
Wow.
I thought that was funny.
Very nice name. Anyway, so he's kind of recalling the memory of like him and his high school friends kind of ignoring the no trespassing sign on the chain link fence and whatnot. Now, even though the interior of the building has been, accommodated for this this trendy restaurant, the owners kind of kept the original brick walls and the concrete floor intact. So that's something to
It's a place you would hate. And in this chapter, he's talking about how he feels so uncomfortable, and he's thinking about, that was like my favorite part in it. Like, he feels uncomfortable. He's like, I just want to be in like the cozy little Mexican restaurant.
Fuck
I
yeah,
know.
dude. Like a
It gives him
dark
some endearing.
Mexican restaurant with a booth.
Oh, that's what we love too.
Yeah.
I'm going to read this real quick because I underlined it. I prefer the quiet privacy of a corner booth, preferably one with tall partitions on either side like the one we would have had at the local Mexican joint if we hadn't decided to try this place instead.
Damn, I can relate to that.
That's why I underlined it, because it's so Jacob.
Oh my goodness. So, so after they have their nice little dinner and whatnot, they're about to leave. So as he's walking out, he is spying on his daughter and their friends.
Okay, so
Through
they're at the
location?
same spot?
No, they're like I don't know if it's like it seems like he sees them from a distance.
Gotcha.
Oh, I forgot that detail.
So he like sees them away over there, and it looks like they might be about to play some
spin the bottle.
spin the bottle. But he trusts his daughter, and he's like, I really trust my daughter, and I don't think she's.
And
gonna
I know
do
she
all that."
deleted that app. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, this is when he saw the cars. It was like QT,
Yeah.
like kids parked out of QT. They were passing and
With
saw
the
the line of
truck,
cars.
and then the black smoke coming out.
Yeah. That's
Does
exactly
he describe all that?
Yeah, a little bit, and throughout the.
Man.
So he saw like a line of cars, and he saw Kelsey. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love
so
that.
also in this chapter, it's revealed that Kelsey has a tracking. He is tracking her dad.
So So she's turned it on his phone without him knowing or something?
No, they have that arranged because he has these migraines, and sometimes he like blacks out from these migraines.
Gotcha.
Worries
So
about
she
him.
knows where he's at.
Yeah, so the doctor recommended that she put a tracker on him, and he thought it was funny that he has a tracker, but he doesn't have one on her, and it's like a funny thing,
Roles reversed.
right?
I like everything about what you've described so far. All these details, all these quotes.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it's
So-
good stuff.
So while he's like spying on them, he sees a dark figure. But, you know, like I said, he's convinced that the figure is part of his migraines. He
So this is a
uses that
second
all the
sighting.
time. Huh?
Second sighting
Yeah,
of the
this
figure.
second one. I
Gotcha.
mean, it's so constant throughout.
Okay, it just keeps appearing. The
Motif.
Yeah.
figure.
Okay.
Is that a motif or is that
No, just a
thing
recurring
that
image.
reoccurs?
Never
Okay.
mind. Because a motif would have to be a symbol.
Okay, so chapter 3. So now we're in Kelsey's perspective. We're introduced to her 5 friends at the as they play, because like we said, he's watching them out, you know, by the lake or whatnot. We're introduced to their friends. They're hanging out by the lake, you know. We're introduced to the first one. Her name's Ashlyn. She's the new girl in town, and she is super hot and already very popular. And she's got the hots for Jackson. And I'll tell.
That was appropriate, right?
Jackson Peterson.
Yeah, Jackson. Okay, I'll talk a
Jackson
little bit.
Peterson?
Yes.
Yeah, and she really
I
wants
love
to
that
kiss
name.
him in this game, but I'll talk a little bit more about Jackson. Anyway,
Gotcha.
so Ashlyn and Kelsey have bonded over the fact that they both lost someone in a car crash. So we learn that Kelsey's mom has died in a car crash. I guess at some point.
Why are you laughing about the car crash?
I'm sorry. My
What the
apologies.
fuck?
I don't even remember this detail because it didn't stand out to me. But I guess
Yeah, it wasn't like a very I don't know.
And they're about to play the app Spin the Bottle.
Yeah, they're about to play. So they bond over the fact that, you know, but Kelsey, okay, this is like a really important thing because Kelsey brings up her dead mom literally all the time. And like, I know, you know, trauma is real and it's part of people's lives, but I was like, girl, at some point, not everything is a connection to your damn mom.
Wait, does she bring it up in her head or vocally? Because if it's
No, it's in her head. She doesn't
So-
say it out loud.
Okay, so that's not annoying compared to like if she was talking about
It's
it.
more so I was annoyed reading it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, come on.
And do you think Bryce had the Spin the Bottle thing be an app as opposed to the real thing because he was trying to
Make it more
make it
modern.
seem realistic and modern?
That's what I
Yeah.
was just
What
about to
kids would
stop you
do.
to talk about.
But it's a little misguided because they would just perhaps use an actual
Because
physical
kids
bottle 'cause
like
it wouldn't
doing
be
physical. Yeah.
It wouldn't be that difficult. for
Some
them
of
to
this
find one.
old these old games and stuff, people like doing like the
People
physical.
are over here buying CRTs to play their Nintendos on.
Exactly. So
So we're gonna do some analog Spin the Bottle.
yeah, I just didn't find it believable because I'm
It's
like,
not. No kids would do that. If they're going to play spin the bottle, they're going to get a real bottle,
it's not cool that way.
right?
But he definitely just heightens the use of the technology, even like the trap.
I think we should do something real quick. I think we should look up if there's a Spin the Bottle app.
I'll
Sure,
do that.
of course there is, but I want to see what it looks like and how it works and stuff. But we can keep talking.
Okay,
Jules will be
so-
looking that up.
Ashlyn is described as with blonde hair, sky blue eyes, and a naturally tanned complexion. Ashlyn is drop dead gorgeous.
Hell yeah.
Unfairly gorgeous. Like, how dare she gorgeous? Tonight, she's got on an orange shirt. Her hair is in a high ponytail and her makeup is perfect. I feel like a crushed daisy next to a flowering orchid.
Damn, I kind of like that last sentence. I wasn't.
I know,
crazy about
right?
the
I
rest of
like
it.
the last
I
one.
did like the last sentence.
That's what I'm saying. I like the last one, but the rest was just so cringe. I was like, what
Yeah.
the hell? This
Wait.
grown man wrote this.
Yeah.
You like the crushed daisy next to a flowering orchard?
Although he's trying to, I mean, I kind of that kind of works. It makes the point pretty well very quickly. So I like that about it. It's efficient.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I'm not so mad at that he wrote it, considering he's trying to write it from the perspective of a insecure teenager, right?
Yeah. I got some quotes, don't you worry. Okay. So Jackson is Jackson is Kelsey's childhood best friend. And he is the son of Logan. And Logan is one of Aiden's friends from high school that, you know, was a part of that incident that happened 30 years ago.
Gotcha.
But Kelsey swears, okay, that she is not in love with him. She does not like Jackson. There's no way in hell.
You're talking about our character, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But obviously she does.
And
like
she's
him,
got to compete with the other babe.
right?
I feel like that's like a trope too. Like with the you grow up with the guy.
It's like the Taylor Swift song.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Oh my God, yes.
And she's
Yes.
new girl's trying to. She's like, no, I don't even like him,
But she obviously does. Okay, so from there, she introduces her her other friends. It was really cringe. I'll go ahead and read you some of these because, like, oh my God. Okay. Right on cue, Chris and Zane come around the front side of Jackson's beat-up red Chevy, an 80s model passed down to him from his dad. Like Jackson, Chris, and Zane, they're all tall and in shape, a trifecta of hotness.
oh, I forgot he said.
Dudes?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Zane. That's such a.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so we revealed that Chris is Kelsey's cousin. Okay. So Chris, okay, here. Oh my God, this is so weird. Chris wasn't, if Chris wasn't my cousin, the son of Dad's older sister, I admit that he's cute.
And then she compares Zane to.
Oh yeah. Zane, on the other hand, well, Zane is Zane. Zeus, even. With his sandy brown hair and melty brown eyes. Too bad he's an arrogant jerk. That detail isn't enough to knock him off Becky nor Ashlyn's wish list, but it is for me.
Oh yeah.
How can eyes be melty?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, it's
Melty.
always like
Melt
this in every
in the-
freaking
under
book.
their gaze, maybe.
But you can't use an adjective to describe the noun like that. Like that's the wrong way.
What the fuck?
Sorry.
I liked it.
Oh
Melty
wow!
brown.
Call him out,
You guys
girl.
always give me the. You guys always like introducing these books to me off mic, and like, okay, this is what we feel about this, and I get a sense of how you feel about these books before we begin recording. But every time, I like, end up liking all these.
More than you. Yeah, we can. We weren't talking.
But I didn't have to like read them painstakingly and.
Yes,
write
yeah,
synopsis and
exactly.
It's
stuff.
different when you have to.
We're giving you the highlights.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's happening is Ashlyn is pushing Kelsey to hook up with Zane. Okay, maybe not hook up, but to kiss him during the spin the bottle game.
Gotcha.
Because Ashlyn wants to kiss Jackson. And Becky wants to kiss Chris.
But it's like ridiculous that she's trying to push. It's like this is literally a game of chance.
I know, right? It's so dumb.
So how are they? How are they like rearranging themselves around the bottle? How is that?
No,
happening?
it's because I don't.
They're just
know.
talking about what they hope.
Yeah, with the app. But I guess
Gotcha.
like she thinks
Let me ask another question, Jules.
there is
Did
a
you
there is a
find the app?
spin the bottle app.
Can we check it out real quick? Okay, keep going, Ash.
Do you
Okay.
just want to know about it?
I just want to see it in action one
Oh
day.
my God, that's no.
You put. I guess you put the picture of the people, and then you spin it.
Can you imagine doing that in a group, like little icons of everybody?
That's
And
Like
terrible.
with on movie night.
Who cares? Get the real bottle. Like, holy shit. What a waste of an app.
Kind of got bad ratings. All the ratings are in Russian. I guess this is popular in
Jesus
Russia.
Christ. There's all kinds of fucking weird shit that's gonna load onto
Yeah.
your phone if you download that.
Somebody said, I have been playing this game for years and now it won't let me play. It keeps coming up saying app not active. Who
I like
plays
the
this
idea
for
that somebody's
years?
playing this for years with just their friends. They're just
No
always
way.
kissing each
God,
other.
that's so weird.
It has some other cool features. Okay, final one. Ashlyn is pushing, so like we said, she's pushing her to hook up with Zane. But this is how Kelsey feels about him. Zane would never fall head over heels for anyone, much less the girl who goes around wearing flannel shirts and boyfriend jeans all the time. Gods always seek out goddesses, which I am definitely not.
Oh, God. He definitely was like, this is definitely like you belong with me.
That was such pick me girl vibes. I hated it.
Mm.
Oh my God. That was terrible.
I forgot how funny reading some of this back was.
It's really funny. Okay, now in this chapter, okay, so we're in the next chapter because they're, I don't know, I think they play the game, but I don't think Kelsey actually plays because she's honoring her dad's wishes right now.
That's good.
So we're in the next chapter. Kelsey mentions in this chapter that so they had to move after, so I guess her dad thought it would be a good idea if they moved to a new house
Okay.
to kind of get away from the,
The tragedy.
I guess the tragedy and the memories, I guess. They just
Okay,
kind of
but
want to
they're
start it fresh.
Still in the same town.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But Kelsey's a little bit upset about it. She didn't really want to move.
Do you know how old she was? Did we get the details?
No,
She
they
didn't
don't
want to
really
move to the
tell.
same.
I don't
town.
remember her saying.
They never really say specifically. That's why I'm very confused if it happened really recently or like, Well, he got a new girlfriend, so I'm assuming it's like 2 or 3 years ago, baby.
Yeah.
You're talking about the death of the mother.
Yeah, the death of the mother.
Okay, so this is not related to his own experience.
No.
So he decided to move back to the old town.
But his wife was
she died.
at the incident that happened 30 years ago.
Gotcha.
And his
Okay.
wife died. Did you say how her mom died?
In a car crash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, so also Ashlyn's cousin died in a car crash?
Yeah, that's how they bonded.
Okay.
But her cousin has no connection to us at all. Okay, anyway.
Okay.
So she mentions in this chapter that during the move, she finds a metal box that had a bunch of beautiful blue glass. And she's going to use these materials to create Ashlyn a necklace since it's Ashlyn's birthday soon. And Ashlyn's going to have this whole, like, I don't know, what do you call it? Bonfire.
Ashlyn's
thing.
the hottest one,
Yeah.
and they're friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
She's
this
the hot
isn't a
one.
situation where
She's the one that bonded.
Ashlyn's like a bully or something.
No, she's
No,
That's
she's not a
good.
bully.
It's not that like tropey, surprisingly.
No.
But it's a tropey in other words.
Yeah.
Okay, so as she's climbing down the stairs, she sees a figure. Okay, so here's a quote. Climbing down the attic ladder, the springs and hinges groan. Okay, let me say that again. Climbing down the attic ladder, the springs and hinges groan and squeak with each step. I leave the rectangular door hanging open above me, and something inside the attic catches my attention. I stop and take a few steps up, slowing, sticking my head up through the floor. What was it? Some flurry of movement like a shadowy haze through my peripheral vision? Mom?
Okay, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
If you were in the attic and she was up there,
Mm-hmm.
she was coming back down after looking at the glass or whatever. Or is this when she found it the first time, or is this
Well, it's just mentioning, like,
it's a memory of when she's
No, she's in there right now looking
after
through the metal
in the
block.
bottle?
Yeah. So after the party thing, like,
Okay,
this is the next day.
Does it ever say who kissed who and all that?
No, it's not that significant.
It skips ahead. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So she's up in the attic. She comes down. Let me ask you something. If you saw a weird bunch of movement up in the attic, would you go back up? I would not do that.
No.
No. That's
Close
like,
that shit.
She's like, but she's hoping. She always like is hoping to get in contact with her mom. It's like
Oh,
this
okay,
Weird,
so
it's
that's-
this weird, interesting detail. Actually, I didn't mind that. She's like hoping like somehow.
Okay,
her
that makes
mom.
that gives it more context. That makes a little bit more sense.
yeah.
She's secretly hoping there's these supernatural happenings and it might be her mom or something.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so,
Wait, did we skip the birthday? Oh no, she's about to make.
no,
that.
it's about to happen. Okay, so we learn in this chapter that Kelsey is just annoyed by this Trish woman's existence. She's not ready to move on. She is still thinking of her mother.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is Trish
the girl.
written to be annoying, or is she actually pretty?
No,
chill?
she's fine.
Okay, gotcha.
She's a fine person.
Yeah, it gets better their relationship. I would say.
Yeah. Like there's this one part. Okay. So Trish is all like, "Oh, he saw that tomorrow's weather calls for rain. So you know your dad. Better get a head start." And then she's all like, "I don't like the way she says, you know your dad. As if she's as familiar with my father as I am. Even though she's known him for less than a year versus my 17.
Damn.
I couldn't tell.
I mean,
her
I don't
the
hate
most.
that detail.
Yeah,
That's kind of relatable.
I thought like that
Where
wasn't.
you like get petty about little things people are saying that are innocent, but you take them really wrong.
And I think she's self-aware that she's like it's kind of like ridiculous that she's thinking that. Maybe she wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
but
I didn't
sometimes
mind
you just
that
can't
detail
help
either.
the visceral
Yeah, you're right.
reaction you have.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay, so
I didn't mind that either.
no, not at all. I mean, it's understandable. So Kelsey is being really short with Trish. She just doesn't want to do the small talk. You know, she's being kind of. I'm just gonna say it. She's being a little brat.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. That's all you had?
That wasn't that bad.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say it. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. She was being a brat. Oh, dude.
I was like, ooh, what are you gonna say?
All right, here we go. Kelsey's rolling up to Ashlyn's party. I'll give a little description of her rolling up because I thought it had some cool like country scenery. The land gives way to a stretch of green pastures. In the distance, the setting sun casts an orange glow across the weathered board and tin of an ancient barn and silo. Several small herds of cattle stand near water troughs. Here we go.
Troughs?
Troughs. Oh my god, fuck.
There was always that one word.
Should I start over again? Several small herds of cattle stand near water troughs and lazily watch
Troughs.
troughs. Troughs?
Troughs.
Troughs? Troughs?
Troughs.
Troughs?
Now it's one of those things where the word sounds weird when you say it a bunch. Get the guy on YouTube. to say it.
Troughs? Troughs?
Troughs, yeah.
Troughs.
Okay, I'm just...
All right, here we go.
I'm just going to start over again. Okay. Troughs. Troughs. Okay. The land gives way to a stretch of green pastures. In the distance, the setting sun casts an orange glow across the weathered board and tent of an ancient barn silo. Several small herds of cattle stand near water troughs and lazily watch my car as I pass. The beginning of the narrow road is gouged from several decades of tractors and trailers, and my car jostles over the rough terrain, but soon the path becomes smoother, the gravel thicker underneath my tires.
I love this. That was a good description.
Isn't that great? I love the country road.
I like the use of the word troughs.
Now I can't ever say that right again.
Troughs. Okay, so while she's waiting for Ashlyn, she sees something in peripheral again. And she,
I like that.
I don't know, because it's like, oh my God, it's happening
Yeah,
again.
Gotcha.
So, okay. At first, Ashlyn thinks it's like a prank from the boys. You know how boys are like, I'm going to scare you. Like, you know. But that's what Kelsey thinks. She's like, oh my God, stop it. Come out now. But they don't. And Ashlyn, you know, is now coming up. She's rolling
On her ATV.
on her ATV with the black smoke coming out.
So cool.
So she's rolling up and she's like, no, the boys aren't here yet. And so she's like, oh man. But anyway.
I actually thought there was a cool description of her like waiting and she's not wanting to get out of her car because she doesn't
Yeah.
want to feel that awkwardness.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you were going to say that quote, but I thought that was interesting.
I thought I did.
Do you remember that part I was describing to you, Jacob, about like her texting, like not wanting to go up and stand on the porch to wait for her friend to get the door because she felt like uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was. He gets these good beats, like these you could tell definitely that he has felt this uncomfortableness and like I don't know, very relatable if you feel any type of social awkwardness or like the same with the restaurant part. But I like that father daughter have similar.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I found it if you want me to read it. Okay. Guess I'm the first one here. Grabbing my phone from the passenger seat, I text Ashlyn to let her know I've arrived. I'd rather she come out and see me than me stand out at the front door, ringing the doorbell all awkward. After hitting send, I study my surroundings.
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely do stuff like that.
I know. If I say Ash, you could relate too.
Hey!
We can all relate.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah?
What chapter is this?
Yeah, because
I want to
we're
make sure we're moving at a good pace.
we're at 30 minutes.
No.
No, we're good. What
okay.
chapter is it?
We're at chapter 4.
Okay. You could kind of like pick it up a little bit. Not you're doing good. I'm just saying
No, there's parts where I like
you can
zoom
kind of
through it
breeze a
pretty
little bit.
fast.
Okay, you're good.
Okay, so what's happening is now Ashlyn's forcing her to do the game tonight for her birthday. She's really egging her on, like, come on, do it, man. Do it. It's my birthday. Why are you not doing it?
Yeah.
And so she's like, okay, fine. I'll do it. You know, okay, I have to read this one part, though. You're not going to kill me with all these really long quotes, but I just think it's so funny. Okay. I'm making a big deal out of nothing, the same way Dad did yesterday. None of it means anything. We're both just being overcautious for no reason whatsoever. Call it grief or whatever. Call it overprotection in the wake of tragedy. He never even bothered to explain what it is about the game that freaks him out. Maybe he thinks one kiss will lead to more, and more will lead to me getting pregnant or some such nonsense. I mean, I get it. I'm his only child, and we're all we have in this world. But a girl's gotta live and be free, you know?
Yikes. I didn't like that one.
Right?
That was the worst quote yet.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, he'll have this like good subtle description, kind of subtle, and then he'll give something like that.
I know, it's really disappointing.
Yeah, no? That's like, anyway.
Okay, so now this is Aiden's perspective, and so we're back in 1996. And so Logan and Aiden, they're going to the waterworks building to trespass so they can play their game of Spin the Bottom. But okay, so Piper, you know, remember the woman I told you about that recently came into his life?
Yes.
Piper's like the goth girl in the group. You know what I mean? She's kind of the outcast.
She's kind of like a cool Wiccan witch. Because didn't she own the store?
Yeah. But he weirdly, like, is attracted to her. Well, I don't want to say attracted. He's just, like, admires her gothic
He admires,
aesthetics.
yeah. I think he admires what it stands, like her not fitting in or like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So Piper's lives in a trailer and is not very far from the building. So they have been spending the night watching some horror movies, and they have an idea that they're going to trespass. So Logan grabs one of the bottles that are outside of Piper's house. So
I wish they would have said what horror movie they were watching. Sorry.
I know, right? So Piper's house is filled with like blue glass bottles that are kind of like hanging around. And okay, I'll read this quote to you. I told you those bottles, they're used to trap evil spirits. That's why my mom hangs them from the trees to keep us safe.
And this is exposition, obviously.
Yeah, and that's a thing. Like if you read Because of Winn-Dixie, or I think that was the book. I've known this tree thing where you hang glass bottles and it catches spirits.
Okay, so this is a thing.
Yeah, this is a thing.
Right.
I don't know if you've known about the thing, but I've heard about it.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to use one of the spirit bottles.
Yeah, exactly.
I love
So
this.
took one of the
I love where this
bottles.
is going.
So that's what we're okay. Let's go to chapter 6. I won't go too far because I really want to talk about this one. So Trish and Aiden are now going to an opening for Logan. Remember Logan, father of Jackson,
Okay, I'm trying
one of
to
the
keep up.
friends.
I need like a spreadsheet. Or,
I know, there's so many characters.
Jackson's the guy that she doesn't like, but she also kind of does like her childhood bestie.
okay,
that
got it.
Logan, and also Logan was at the
And
incident.
who's the hot one? Jackson. Jackson.
Well,
Wait, is
Zane
Jackson
is the one that's compared to Zeus. Jackson.
Got it. But Jackson was always the one that Ashlyn
Yeah, Ashley.
Yeah.
wanted to be with. Okay, got it. No, I'm
Yes,
straight
exactly.
with all that.
You got it, Jacob.
Yes, you got it. Okay, yay!
Yay! I
Okay,
wish I had the
so-
applause thing.
I know. So Logan's wife Melissa is opening a new store. I don't really know what it is. It doesn't matter.
It's like a little local boutique where they sell like artisan stuff. That's exactly what I was imagining it. That's
Yeah.
why I think this guy is good at these
And they
descriptions.
sometimes do screenings of excellent short films upstairs in the loft area. That sounds
Okay.
like the kind of place.
Now, outside of this store, there is a mural. Okay, this mural is very important to the story. Okay, and it actually is a really cool imagery. And we just found out today that it's a real mural.
Yeah, and Saluda County. It's like a real mural in Saluda County that you can see in downtown.
So if you are watching our viewers who watch on YouTube,
If you watch the video podcast.
here's the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Describe it.
the mural is called Saluda Old Town Treaty, and it's meant to represent a meeting between the then governor of South Carolina, James Glenn, and Cherokee chief Old Hop when the Native Americans, handed over their land. So surrounded by trees set against...
Handed over.
I know.
Oh my God, that's the most.
That's literally what he says.
That's the sure way to sugarcoat it.
I mean, maybe we don't know much about the history. Maybe we're just ignorant. But that seems a little sus. Way of
Forced out of their
describing it.
land.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he says, so surrounded by trees set against a pitch black sky, two men are seated facing each other. A young Cherokee boy stands between them facing the governor. Behind Glenn are two Confederate soldiers, and behind Old Hop, a pair of additional Cherokee chiefs. In the center of the painting, a fourth Cherokee appears to preside over the exchange, both arms raised, one holding a wooden bow and the other a long arrow. I can't tell you how many times I found myself staring at the beautiful piece of art and history.
That was a good quote. It was a little long. Okay.
It was.
But we can play some cool music under it. So it's fine.
I thought it was beneficial.
Let's play some like rock and roll under that.
Okay.
Or some EDM.
So, Logan and Aiden, they start talking. They're, having their bro moment. And, Logan brings back a memory for Aiden about someone being, how do I say this? They had an accident with a tractor, and they died in a very horrific way.
Okay.
You said it in the way I would have said it.
You did? Okay. I mean, I could read the quote from it, but I just feel like I'm worried about it for being too long. Okay.
I just love how you say, how do I say it? And you said it in a perfectly intelligent way.
I don't know. I'm worried about how long these quotes, like.
No, you're good.
long-
I'm just messing with you. It's funny.
Okay, so, I actually do want to read this because it's actually pretty gory. Okay. With those words, an unwanted, gruesome image flashes through my mind. An overgrown field, the sickening sound of the bush hog blades thumping against bone, a violent spray of blood and gore from underneath the flat equipment, the blue and white New Holland cap landing several feet away.
Okay, I didn't hate that, but I just didn't love that he used blood and gore, which is the most
I know.
common sort of
Instead of showing, tell
way to say it. Blood and gore, that's the two words you always hear together, so it could have been a better descriptor there or way of describing. Or maybe just taking out and gore. If it was just blood sprayed, that would probably be
the
more
gore is just an
Yeah, it's just a... You
it's
hear
an
those words
adjective
together
used
so
to
often
describe horror stuff.
that it sounded like... Yeah, right. It just didn't... It just sounded clunky in there. I can't describe exactly why it sounds wrong, but it sounds wrong
I know.
to have that in there.
Okay, so now after they're all kind of back together, Melissa, Logan, Aiden, and her, his girlfriend Trish, they're being, old people. And so they're like, haha, that was such a great night. Oh my God, let's have drinks. Let's be a little tipsy. You know what I mean?
Is this the Bloody Mary part?
Yes, we have to talk about this.
Okay, so this is the
so bad.
parents?
So, huh?
Yes.
I had I blacked out for a moment.
Yeah,
so-
this is the parent, like the
Gotcha.
adults in
Yeah.
there.
And they had a good
They're
time.
being
They're ready
crazy.
to
Yeah, they're
party.
being
Are they going to do
crazy.
spin the bottle again?
No, they're going to play Bloody Mary
Oh, yeah, you just said that shit. Okay, I'm sorry.
because I guess
So
they're
they've had this
bored.
bad experience in the past with this other game, and they're going to play other crazy games?
Yeah.
Well, not the two girls, just the two guys.
Is there a Bloody Mary app?
No.
Is there a sequel to
it's
this called Bloody Mary?
It's just, no, there's
And
just
it's on an app,
Bloody
and
Mary.
that's a good idea.
There's-
I'm going to contact Bryce.
This is an idea for him. Let me look up. I want to see if there's a Bloody Mary app. How would they make that an app?
Yeah, that's
Oh, I
maybe
guess that's
maybe
stupid.
the app is like you take a picture.
I got to be honest with you. I mean, Bloody Mary's obviously not real,
It's freaky
but
as fuck.
I
though.
would not go in a bathroom right now. I could be 45 years old and not go in there and do that shit.
I did that shit as a kid. Have you ever-
Oh, really? No.
Hey, would you do that right now?
No.
I would fucking do that.
That
no,
shit's freaky
no
as fuck.
way.
And then we watched Paranormal Activity, and that shit made me even more scared.
It's just, but why would you want to do that?
Why would you? Something about reflections in the darkness is always gonna be scary.
I just
Ugh.
really don't buy that these old people are like, yeah, let's play spin like Bloody Mary.
I don't know. I could kind of see it in terms of like when you're a little drunk and you're sometimes crazy, stupid stuff sounds fun to do.
Yeah.
And if it just happened to land on Bloody Mary, I guess that's okay. But yeah, that
that's
actually
true.
sounds kind of interesting. Like right now we're talking about it. I'm like, damn, should we try that? Can we do that? I mean, I'm just thinking through it, and it
Yeah.
sounds kind of fun. But I would never do it because I'm scared to death.
I'm too fucking scared.
I wouldn't do it with 30 people in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it even if we all went in there. Holy shit, that freaks me to think about.
Oh my God.
They're more wild than.
Okay, so I have to read this. This is really long. Okay. So Melissa follows the instructions as Trish places her hands on the other woman's shoulders and slowly rotates her counterclockwise the full 12 times. Now open your eyes and say her name 13 times. Melissa wobbles unsteadily
many
on
times.
her feet, a maneuver that gets a giggle from Trish, then opens her eyes and immediately gasps. The sound startles me. She spins on her heels to face us. That man! Melissa points out to the window. The one we were talking about in the blue shirt.
It's fake.
He's out there. Okay, so Melissa
Sure.
saw a man with a blue shirt with a buzz cut. And she's like, I've never seen this man in my life because they live in a small town. So they know
Gotcha.
everyone. So
Right.
like, who the hell is that man? And so she like spins around and she looks. She's like, oh my
So
God.
she does see him.
that's
This isn't a prank.
Well, because she saw and they talked about seeing this. Like, hey, did you say that already?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that guy that was at the event? And they're like, we didn't see that guy. And then they see him again.
Damn, this is crazy. All right, keep going.
Okay, now we're going back to Kelsey. The kids are at the bonfire, and Ashlyn starts to recount the story about what happened at the old waterworks building. She was like, okay, so I looked it up online, and yeah, back in the day.
I like that voice.
Well, that's literally what I'm reading, quote for quote. That's one. So I'm imagining this is what
You
she's
didn't
saying.
have to do the voice. Let's go there. Keep going.
This is Trish's voice.
No, it's Ashlyn.
Oh, Ashlyn.
So I looked it up online, and yeah, back in the day, the incident was all about anyone could talk about. It was all over the news. The giggling banter in the groups comes to a simmer, and Ashlyn continues the story. Supposedly, after they played, a guy named Wyatt Thomas was found dead on the property. His skull had been split wide open. He fell and bashed his head. The cause of death was said to be an accident, but the thing is, none of the other kids that night witnessed the tragedy.
Wow.
So was it
Interesting.
really an accident, or was someone else there too? Somebody who might have killed him. Can you imagine, like, being by the fire and whatnot, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this is what happened."
It's like local legend.
Okay, so you guys have to forgive me. I may have blacked out again. Why did she decide to just bring that up?
I don't know.
Just coincidentally,
Yeah,
she's just bringing it up. It's not like they were like
I guess
talking
like
about something with the thing. They might tear that place down. Oh,
At
did
one
you
point
hear
she
what
was
happened? You see
talking
what I'm saying? It
about-
almost feels like it needed like a
She was talking about her uncle at one point, and they had this weird little banter at one point
yeah.
because Becky thought her uncle was cute and whatnot, and then she started talking about her uncle, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, my uncle, he told me about this story," and then
Okay.
she was like, "Yeah, so I looked it up online."
Okay. Damn.
And I feel like the ambiance of being around the fire, they'd be like, "Oh my god, let's tell scary stories."
I gotta
Right.
give Bryce more credit, so it actually makes sense, kind of.
Yeah, it didn't feel awkward if I remember when reading it. Like it wasn't. Like this is stupid, but
Right.
it wasn't.
So Ashlyn was like, "Oh yeah, it's probably just some like Native American spirit."
Okay.
So then Kelsey talks about the mural and, about the Native American history in general. So she talks about a trip about how they went down to see, the mural and whatnot. And like it talked about the significance of the painting. And so she talks about how one time it really spooked her. And like it's just kind of stuck with her ever since. So there's one time she sees the mural and she is convinced that she sees a face hidden within the matte black sky of the background. And then her dad was like, "There's nobody there." And then he says, "It's just your imagination. Brush strokes meant to trigger the imagination. What you see is just layers of caked on paint that somehow in your mind resembles the features of a human. It's called matrixing. When the brain can't make sense of what it sees, it forms a face in your mind."
That part was like the description of a person, like in the depths of a mural. The background is kind of creepy to me.
No, yeah.
But I love how the dad has to like explain it. Like it's called matrixing. Like I was like, what's this? That was kind of goofy, but I don't know. Maybe it's also him coping because he has hallucinations
Yeah.
because of his like migraine. So,
Yep.
he was probably told that by a doctor. So maybe that makes more sense now that I think about it. Why he would say that. But I don't know. That was kind of spooky seeing it.
No, I like all the descriptions about the mural. I think it was the most like interesting part. It's what part of his mission statement of like bringing in
the
these
folklore.
like yeah. So I thought it's cool, and we looked it up. I would have never known about this mural, and it is really creepy. Like why a black sky? It's like an interesting choice. Anyway, so now the kids are about to finally start the game. Now, the opening sentence to the next chapter when they start to play the game, I kind of like it. They say, "The digital image of a glass bottle spins around and around, a dizzying blur of motion in the darkness. We're all glued to our phones, watching the same bottle, eagerly anticipating which name it will land on. Who will kiss Ashley Cartwright on her birthday tonight? Finally, the bottle begins to slow. I feel myself tense. After making one final turn, the neck end of the bottle eases past Zane's name. It comes to a standstill on me."
That's amazing. What's silly about this is that the previous time they played, none of the consequences of who would have kissed who in that scenario, like, sort of like apply to this situation.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you bring up, last time it was really disappointing?
Wait, what happened last time when they played?
It just,
Nothing. They don't mention
like,
it.
cuts away.
They cuts away from it.
Yeah, because
I'm
I
saying
remember.
cutaway. That's more of a film reference.
Yeah, it's like why wouldn't they talk? Wait, did they not really play? Did they just tease at playing?
I don't know. They made it seem like they were gonna play it, or maybe they didn't. Maybe it was like a tease, like, "Oh,
I was
yeah,
under the
wanna
impression
play."
that they didn't play when I first.
Or maybe they didn't. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense if they didn't because they never bring it up again. But it's also like, why does she already have the phone downloaded, or like
So-
the app downloaded on her phone?
What
I don't know.
chapter was that in?
When they play the first time?
Yeah.
Or supposedly? That was like chapter 3. Okay. So what happens here, all the guys are like, "Oh yeah, we're going to get some girl on girl action.
Hell yeah.
Let's go." And Zane is all like, "Yeah, I want to see that. We don't need to fix the game." Because Ashlyn's all like, oh my God, I swear to God, I thought it sounded for boy to girl, not girl to girl. In the app settings.
Right. So you can set it so it doesn't, these things don't happen. So it stays heteronormative.
Yeah, I was like, this is goofy. I thought it was going to get really crazy.
I know, it's so stupid. So after that, I mean, it's really just like drama. So what happens is,
Tension because...
yeah, there's a lot of tension because Ashlyn really wants to kiss Jackson. But obviously, when it's her turn and she spins, Ashlyn lands on Chris, which is Kelsey's.
She lands on Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, everybody gets it.
So Kelsey's cousin. So they
Becky
have a
likes.
really... Yeah, Becky really likes him, and they have like a little thing. But Ashlyn's like really going into it. She's like, okay, let's kiss. And so they're having a really hot like kiss or whatever.
She's like, I got to show off.
Yeah, exactly. And Becky's pissed. She's like, oh my God, that was my man. And so what happens next is that Becky's turn and Becky spins, but she lands on Zane.
Yes.
And so it's Becky's turn to get back. And so Becky's like doing a hot makeout with
She's like
Zane.
touching him, his chest, and he gets uncomfortable though. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, that's too much.
And so it's literally just like this weird like tension thing. It's so bizarre.
But it's not. It doesn't get crazy. They're not like. It's still like PG.
No, it is.
Yeah.
It is PG.
I'm kind of sitting here thinking about a spin the bottle scenario for like a short film or something. That actually is kind of interesting. All the tension and relationship stuff and history that's built right into it.
Mm-hmm.
In the ways it creates drama just through sheer chance is actually kind of a fascinating thing.
It's not a bad.
It's not a bad concept
Premise,
or
yeah.
something premise. Yeah.
Because there's all these like hidden stuff.
Just imagine a short film opening up and it's night and these people gathering and they're going to play spin the bottle and you start to learn about their insecurities and their relationship between them by how they're reacting to things happening. Does that make sense?
How it's like when it's landing on.
Yeah. And then there's some sort of like creeping dread of something amiss or supernatural or something going
Ooh.
on. Yeah.
Oh, that's
As it
interesting.
plays out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's something we don't know as a viewer as we watch it. We sense that something's not being revealed to us or something. Or, yeah, anyways. Okay, sorry. Cut that out.
No, you're fine.
So
Okay,
nobody steals
so-
my idea.
Yeah, no one wants to steal it. Okay, now, what happens next? So throughout this whole thing, Jackson and Kelsey are having some tension. So their relationship's been kind of rocky recently. So Jackson and her haven't really been the same.
As friends.
You mean friendship? Right?
Yeah, friendship-wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
So-
never described. Has it ever described their friendship in a way that you're
No.
like, damn, they're like cool, good friends?
No.
No.
They don't like hang out and read comics or something.
Yeah, it's like
No.
we're supposed. Also, I went back
Play
to that chapter, and it definitely
games.
did seem like they played the game because the last line was like, "Let the games begin." And
Yeah,
they-
that's what I'm
so that's
saying.
silly.
It
maybe he forgot that he wrote that.
I forgot.
Maybe he forgot that plot. He was like, "Oh,
Like
fuck
you,
it."
Jules, he doesn't go back and edit it.
Okay, so
No.
A little teaser
that
at
was
the
the
end.
old Jules.
like I said, Ashlyn wants to kiss him bad. So it's Jackson's turn to spin the bottle. Can you guess who he's going to land on? Jacob?
A guy?
No.
Heteronormative.
Okay, gotcha. But I thought it didn't happen last night because it was a mistake. Anyways, okay. Because the two girls. Okay, whatever. So let me try to remember all the. It's gonna be our girl,
There's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Cue the
Wow.
applause.
Pick me, girl. Is there applause sound?
No, I can't get to it. I would love
remember
to. You
what-
guys got to start doing applause in this edit because I love the applause is actually funny.
It is.
It
Funny.
is. Okay, so it's super predictable. I was like rolling my eyes. I was like, of course this happened. Anyway, now we're back into 1996. So Amanda and
So that's the cliffhanger for that chapter, kind of.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So Amanda, Aiden's wife, and Susan and Wyatt have now joined them in trespassing in this building. And Susan wants Wyatt bad, but Wyatt is more concerned about Piper's whereabouts. So Wyatt and Piper kind of have a thing. Now, while they're playing, the police flashing lights just come out of nowhere. And Aiden was like, oh shit, my parents are going to be mad as hell if they see me in this building.
Yeah.
I got to get out of here. So all of them start bolting out. So, okay, I'll read this. Looking our own way out, a way to dodge the cops, to escape the trouble. And just as I'm about to dash through an open side door, I see something in the corner of the waterworks building. A man, totally still, totally watching me. Was he there the whole time watching us play? As the blue lights flash, I rip my gaze away from the shadow. It has to be another Santa decoration propped up against the wall. There was no one else there.
That was silly. I feel like there could have been a better way of describing that whole thing. And I didn't like how he described the corner of the waterworks building. What a strange way to describe the corner of the dark, creepy room where you just played the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The idea that there was someone watching potentially the entire time you were playing in this dark room is a creepy implication. Maybe I'm missing something context here, but I'm not crazy.
I feel like some of the writing could needed like around editing, like that thing you used to say. I would like over explain stuff, or he would do.
Yeah, I think this could have been better handled if he thinks he sees something. He kind of withholds information in the text, gets out, breathes, they escape. Then he in the chapter on him describing what he thought he saw back there.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
The Santa Claus thing feels like a horror movie thing, where like a scene in a movie where you like turn on the lights.
Then it's a coat or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be much more. I felt like I was like, is he writing like a horror movie scene? But I agree. It would be more creepy if he has to like think about it and doesn't really get closure. You're saying like he doesn't know.
Yeah. Well, you go. He turned and saw a thing, but then he couldn't help but think about the thing that he saw back there before he ran out before the cop. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then go back and kind of reveal it paragraphs later.
Yeah.
Into that chapter.
Oh yeah.
There might have been
they
something
go back to
make
that
sense?
situation. They go back to that story again in the later chapters, and
Okay.
and it ties a more little bow on the story.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Yeah.
chapter 10. So Logan's about to find this man who's been stalking them. You know, the buzz cut from present day.
Gotcha.
Remember with the Bloody Mary and they saw the
that
guy.
she saw in the mirror.
Yeah. So Logan is now gonna be the hero, and he's gonna try and find him. But after a while, there's no sign of him. He's missing.
Okay. So they think they see him in the present day, the older people, in the bathroom in the mirror.
Well, they're not in the bathroom.
Where did they play it at?
They're like
Bloody Mary.
I don't know.
I
they're
thought you
like
played it in the darkness in the mirror, the bathroom. Isn't that how
Okay.
Bloody Mary works?
Well, I don't know. They didn't really describe it. It was like in the house or something.
And then she sees him just in the room.
No, like out in the window.
So she's him out the window, and they're
Yeah.
like, "I'm gonna go look for him. I'm gonna walk outside and look for him."
Yeah.
Got it.
So Logan's gonna try and find him.
And they don't see him.
So Logan hasn't come back yet.
back.
And everyone's like, what? Where is he? And so now Aiden's going to go out and he's like, yeah, you ladies stay here. I'll find him. Man stuff. So,
Yeah. That's what I would do too in those situations.
so Aiden's now going out and he passes by the mural, but he swears that he sees a figure standing in that dark background in the mural. And it almost looks like someone human-like. And they have like long stringy hair, and like really tall and slim.
Okay.
So, I actually thought, I don't know, I thought this quote was kind of interesting because he was talking about what happened. And it was like an interesting quote about memories and something I kind of relate to. I don't know, I kind of liked it. He said, the thoughts, they'll come full force if you let them. The memories, they'll punch through the walls you've put up over the years to protect yourself if you're not careful, like they're doing now when I can't find Logan.
Wow. I accidentally turned off the light.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a pretty tense part. All this chase sequence kind of gets. I feel like the pace of the book picks up here, which I'm glad about.
No, definitely.
Then stuff starts. I mean, this is still like the rising action, but this is when things get a little bit more crazy, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Kelsey, oh my God, what the hell? Kelsey and Jackson, they kiss. I mean, it's like kind of like sparks fly. It's like, oh my God. It's not that significant.
It doesn't overindulge in like the.
No,
it could have been really like overdone, but it was actually kept pretty like sweet and simple.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, we kissed. It's like whatever. Now,
But sparks fly or they not fly?
They do fly.
I mean, they fly, yeah. I mean, they always fly.
Can you
And
read
then
it?
after that, she's like always she's just like conflicted about her feelings towards him. She's like, right? I thought so.
Yeah.
So she thought it would be weird, but it was actually amazing.
It was,
Or-
yeah, it
Not
was
amazing. It was like fine. Like, yeah, it was
sparks
sweet.
fly implies like amazing.
Okay, fine. Well, then
Read the quote.
sparks fly. It was like a sweet little kiss.
Yeah.
Is there a quote?
I'm trying to find.
This is kind of like when you reviewed. What the fuck is the name of it? Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and you're like, these movies are fucking iconic. 6 out of 10. Sparks flew, but it was just decent.
All right. I stand on my toes to reach him. The kiss is brief, but I find myself holding on a tad longer than expected. It's as if everyone else had melted away, and it's just the two of us. His lips are warm and tinged with alcohol. And then it occurs to me. I realize this is the real reason I was avoiding the game. I've been afraid of moving forward in my life, of complicating things, of possibly facing the moment by force. For some reason, I think about the hole in his shirt. Okay, that's a whole thing. That's so
The
insignificant.
whole thing?
Oh, haha. I didn't realize I did that.
Jules, you went, haha, and then you went,
I I don't know why I was laughing.
Okay,
I'm good.
so then it goes back. When we pull away, my arms resting on his forearms. He smiles a little and takes a step back until our hands fall away.
Damn, that was sweet. I like that.
Yeah, it was just short and sweet.
So I get it now. It makes sense when you said sparks flew, but it was a decent little simple kiss.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. I'm glad you read that to me. Thank you.
Okay, so after that, Ashlyn is pissed. She is really mad. Well, she doesn't make it super mad. She's like, like kind of pissed about it, but she's not making a big deal of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because she still thinks Kelsey of a friend.
Just kind of seemed cool too. Like,
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Does anybody die in this?
yeah.
Any of these characters we know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. All right. Keep going.
Okay, so after that, they have their little tish, but it's like, whatever, it's fine. Now, she sees something out of the corner of her eye, and she sees that the man with the blue shirt with the buzz cut.
I feel like this sentence has been said 6 times.
I know, that's why I'm not reading
She
it
sees
again.
something out of the corner of their eye.
It's just so repetitive, I don't even feel
All
like
the
repeating it.
peripheral visions.
I know, right? So now the boys are going to go out, and they're going to find this creepo that's been spying on them. Okay? So now Zane is going around being really weird. Like, he's going down into the forest, and he's just, like, got his little knife that they were using to cut open her gifts. So he, like, took it, and he's just kind of like, bam, bam, bam.
He's going a little crazy, Zane.
Yeah, he's going crazy.
At the party or whatever.
I think the author says something about testosterone at one
So
point.
he's just going a little crazy.
No,
but it
because they're
doesn't.
going in the woods because they're looking for the guy they saw. He was trying to protect the girls. They saw a guy in the
Like from the creepy buzzcut guy?
There's
Yeah.
they're like the girl. She's like,
I
because
thought this was the older people.
no, we're back on the younger people.
No, we were talking about the young people.
Oh, I think Jacob was confused because the older people saw somebody in the corner of their eye.
Oh.
This is a different.
I'm saying that they saw the same figure with the blue shirt guy.
This is
So-
When they were playing Bloody Mary, that was the older people.
yes.
Yeah.
And then they see her out a window. Did a guy go look for him in that scenario?
Yeah, and now
So literally the same thing's happening.
yeah,
Yeah.
essentially now when
That's
he's
fine. I just thought I was experiencing deja vu.
it's confusing now. I think about hearing it from.
I know, it's hard. So Zane is destroying the tent. And he's like starts to destroy it. So he thinks it's some like homeless man. But I'm like
Yeah.
confused if it is actually. Is that what
I think
they're
it is
talking
actually a homeless man or something.
about? What we find out is Jackson, dad, Logan, they go onto the scene and he has had a heart attack. So remember when they couldn't find him? So they did find him.
That was like 5 seconds delay, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guys had a heart attack?
This is the
Logan.
older people now.
So
Jackson's
the guy that went
dad-
out to look
Yeah.
has a heart attack. I got it. I got it.
You're good. You're on.
Mm-hmm. So they contacted Jackson, the son, and they were like, yeah, he died. Okay, so chapter 12, IC unit, Aiden sees a figure, whatever. I'm not even going into detail. It's like so repetitive at this point. Okay. Chapter 13, he has an epiphany that the figure has to be a ghost, right?
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'll read this. A ghost. It has to be. A spirit who's been following us around, taunting us, appearing and disappearing just to mess with us. But what does it want? To take me back to the night when we played Spin the Bottle? When the bottle broke and just minutes later, Wyatt fell and cracked his head? Sure, it could be a coincidence. But Piper did warn us about evil spirits being in those bottles. The ones that make a sound when the wind blows over them. And Piper and her mom are like so many women from the South who just happen to know these things. I'm not saying they're witches, but there's questionable history around these parts. And some folks are more in tune with the spiritual world than I am. Maybe I just haven't paid as close attention before, and now the spirits are making themselves known.
Okay. cool.
So there's been this like lore in the town that those kids kind of pulled the prank on Wyatt, and that's why he died. But it's not true. It's all hearsay.
This type of horror, I don't know why. I just feel like this over analyzing of each thing was getting tedious for me.
I know.
Like I kind of like it, like a person that's trying to rationalize what they're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I was reading it, I was just like, something about how his writing at this point kind of like it stifled the tension, or I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I hope it makes sense.
No, it does. It makes sense. I mean, it's just like a weird like epiphany that he had. I didn't know how to spell it.
Oh no!
That's how I spelled epiphany.
How did she spell it?
No, don't say it out loud.
Just look at it, Jacob.
I'm embarrassed.
Girl, autocorrect doesn't even.
It's like, what the fuck?
How do you pronounce it?
Epiphany.
Yeah, you say it right. How you spell it is epiphany.
Okay, whatever.
You know, like an
spell
imp,
it right.
like a little
I knew it
demon.
didn't.
She spelled it IMP.
That's adorable. That was the.
We're gonna make T-shirts for the podcast.
When he has an epiphany.
I know I didn't spell it right. Okay.
That shit's funny.
I was just trying to follow along when you were reading it. I was zooming in. I was like, that's so funny.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna hurry up. Okay, Aiden does some online searching online, and there's this spirit. It's called fucking hell. What's it called again?
Oh, the woman? The creepy
Yeah,
spear woman? Is it
The spirit, yeah, the spearhead, spear woman thing. So he sees, so he looks up at the face of this woman, and there's something that seems really familiar about this woman, and she's kind of like blending the background. It's like really creepy. It's as if he knows this person. Oh, is it real?
Spear finger.
Spear finger. That's what it is.
Yeah, I can pull up an image. This is what the spear finger is.
What the hell's that?
Maybe this is where the blue image is. This is spear finger.
That is a AI generated.
And
image.
when he was looking it up, it was the most most like movie moment where people are like Googling search.
Yeah.
Because I remember even he uses like, he kind of sounds like an old man sometimes. He's like, I don't know, some of the words he uses describe like searching. He's like searching on the internet or something.
Yeah.
Just like say.
Yeah.
He like over explain stuff, and I was just like imagining like a montage scene of the guy, like the person in the horror movie at the computer.
Yeah, where they start looking up articles of all the children that died every 10 years in town, whatever, by the same drowning thing in the same pond. Yeah.
And they connect the dots, and they're like, well, they don't connect the dots till somebody says something. And they're like, wait a second. I feel like I always, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
In movies, it'll like they don't find a solution, and then somebody says something, and they're like,
You go, you're a genius.
wait a second.
Right? Oh my
That's
god.
my favorite movie cliche.
It's like Twilight when Bella was like searching online.
That's what I was
about
thinking of.
vampires. That's literally what it was.
Does he fall asleep while searching though? I feel like
Yeah, he
something
does.
cheesy like that too. He falls asleep at the computer.
He starts getting migraines.
Right,
and he
sometimes
falls
they'll
asleep.
wake up and see the most pivotal piece of evidence when they wake up. They wake up and they go, shake it off, and they go, they like slam the laptop down. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Why do people slam laptops in movies too? They're like,
No, right?
gotta go to the.
Yeah, just leave it. It's fine.
Okay. Now,
Wait, does he wake up and find something pivotal? Is that what happens?
I guess kind of. Okay, no, because then we're gonna go to Kelsey. So Kelsey is spend the night at Ashland's, but now she needs to go back home because she needs to go to work. Now, she goes to work. She's getting in the car. Now, when she's in the car, she almost gets into a car accident.
Because there was car accidents earlier.
I know it's a recurring.
But then she stops. She didn't get into a car accident.
Oh.
So she kind of pulls over and she's like, okay, I'm going to give a visual. So her car is facing like forwards, and then like the back, like she can see the mural in the review mirror.
Okay, this will make more sense if you're watching the video podcast because Ashley's acting it out for you.
demonstrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so she says, as the cars go around me, I close my eyes for a second to breathe, then check the review mirror to make sure I can pull back into traffic. Stretching across the mirror's view in the mural. And then, from the back seat, the monstrous old woman figure from the mural is staring back at me. Our eyes lock. I scream.
Wow. Can I see the mural again?
You know my fear anytime I'm driving and I look in the rear view mirror, I always think something's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like in a way it was kind of creepy that
Yeah.
And so because of that, she actually got into an accident. A car speed through and like almost killed her.
and hit her Corolla, or I think it was like a Camry.
Okay, so the ghost is running around causing accidents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and she thinks that like I was like, but I feel like this background's not black enough or dark enough.
Right. Where the fuck is the old lady?
Well, it's
No, it's like what
That's the
she
made-up part.
imagines in the figures of the darkness.
as a kid, she like imagined seeing like something in the background. That's a little fiction of the.
Gotcha.
Maybe he was like with his
You
niece or
probably-
something when
did
he was
the
a
author
kid.
grow up in this town?
I have a feeling. I didn't. I.
And get creeped out by this mural.
That's what I was thinking. I think it was like something you see as a kid. Maybe it seems
Yeah.
like a very maybe something over here. I don't know.
Interesting.
Funny they all have like all these Native American people like painted their faces white in this.
I know. The more I look at it, the more interesting it is. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, now we go into the next chapter. Aiden finds Kelsey calls him to tell him, she's in an accident, but she's fine. And Aiden's like, oh my God, say no more. And then, he's getting triggered. He's getting upset. He's like, oh my God, my daughter, blah, blah, blah. But, anyway, so, he rescues her and she's fine. They go home, whatever. Well, okay.
Rescues.
Okay.
Well, maybe not rescue.
Oh, picks her up from the car accident.
Yeah, he picks her up. Okay. So he has this little thing, because he had that epiphany. He's like, oh my gosh, just all these traumatic events. Every one of my friends are just going one by one by one. Chasing the idea of like chasing, an evil spirit just seems ridiculous. But, it's at this point, he's got to find the truth. So with Logan clinging to life in the hospital, Trish at work, there's only one person left who I can talk to about this sort of stuff. It's Piper Hargrove.
Wow. Does she live in the
Goth
same
girl.
house?
I don't know where she lives.
Is she responsible for everything? Is she the bad guy?
Oh God, you guys.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, we like Jacob's predictions.
I bet she's not the bad guy.
I mean, that's a good segue.
That would be too obvious.
Yeah. Okay, so Kelsey goes to check on Jackson to see how he's doing because, she's upset about, stuff that's going on with her dad. And he's not there at school. So she goes to the house and then she's like, oh my God, Jackson, where are you? And her heart begins to race. And she's like, where the fuck is he? So he goes and she's like, oh my God, Jackson is laying face down on the floor. His arms are spread out wide.
Face up on the floor.
Yeah, face up on the floor. And his arms are kind of spread out wide.
She sees his shoes.
Yeah.
She does. What the
So
fart?
she says, I run to him. Jackson! I scream, what happened? I cradle his head in my hands and rock him back and forth. He's warm, slightly moving. The front of the tiger shirt is drenched in blood.
You said he's warm.
Warm.
That's fine, though. That was good. I like your reading was good.
This is.
Okay,
warm.
so Jackson said that
I laugh.
Zane left him, but he was not the one to hurt him. And then she's like, no, shh, don't talk, don't, I say. Still trying to remember the shortcut for calling 911, pressing both side buttons. I tried that and get the emergency call button. I'm sorry, Jackson says.
Stupid.
Sorry. What are you sorry for? You're the one dying, I almost say. And he's like, for our friendship. He opens his eyes, his beautiful blue eyes, and looks right at me. I know the light from inside will soon be gone. It was my fault.
Wait, does he die?
Yeah, he dies.
What the fuck, dude?
Of all
Actually
characters.
sad.
Yeah.
I'm sad now.
It was a little sad. Their future.
But how did he die? He's just laying there and he died?
Well, someone.
He broke a
Does
bone?
it explain
or
his
does he
wound?
have a stab or wound?
I don't know. Now I
It
think
doesn't
about
explain
it.
his
They don't
wound at
really
all.
explain it
You're
at
right.
all. It just says that he's like down on the ground.
And she doesn't even really like look for where he's bleeding. I think that'd be your first reaction.
It's really weird. I don't know. I promise you, there was nothing.
There's more holes
So
in this.
the
than I
situation we're trying to figure out how to call 911 via the phone app, where in some instances, Jules, you admire the weird details that Bryce puts into his stories. That's an instance of one that is unnecessary and silly.
Yes, I just don't think I like phones and books. I've
Well,
realized.
yeah, but it's like, it's just a strange, it's a little bit of a weird detail, yeah.
like
Is it brought up earlier, that whole concept with their dad or something?
SOS? No.
Okay.
Also, I feel like we should know before, like, I know we're getting up to like the climax, He puts one text message like sequence, like an image
Yeah.
of like a text between Kelsey and her dad back and forth, and it was just like, I feel like it was like very like just one time
It would
doing
have
it.
it almost worked better as a like a device.
Yeah.
Throughout. Yeah.
If he did it more consistently, I'm like,
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
cool. Actually, it would have been really cool if he did do that. But
Yeah.
maybe even with that point in the story when she was trying to do the help, message or whatnot, or like with the phone, trying to call it.
when she's in the toolbox.
Oh yeah, so not Kate, what the hell? Kelsey. She sees the man. She sees the figure again. And she's
We're
like,
getting all the
"Oh my
answers. now.
God." And now she's like, oh shit, I need to hide. So she goes and hides in a big lid, like literally like a casket.
Okay.
It's like a toolbox that'd be in the back of a big truck.
Is it the
Yeah.
kid that died?
Hmm?
Is it the kid that died in the past?
No. Well,
Okay.
don't say.
Alright, keep
Jacob's
going.
You're
too good at
onto
guessing.
something. Okay. So, she climbs in the casket, basically. And she says, if the band finds me here, that's exactly what I'll be.
Oh, what?
If the man finds me there, I'll be.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
the
like,
evil man.
she says, okay, the inside is empty. I climb inside and fight the feeling that I'm lying in my own casket. If the man finds me here, that's exactly what it'll be.
There we go.
Okay, that was good.
I thought that was really weird. Okay, now we're almost done, I promise. Okay, chapter 17. So now Aiden is on the interstate and he is going to find
Kelsey.
Piper.
Fuck, I'm an idiot.
So-
I forgot
to
that was
kind
what
of
was
talked
happening.
about what happened, that incident.
Don't go.
So when they're talking, Piper offers him a drink and, they're settling down and whatnot and they're talking.
So he makes
Piper-
it there.
Huh?
It was just funny. Like, he's driving to go see Piper. She makes him a drink. It was just funny. They skip him getting there.
Well, I don't know. They
walking
have an
to the door.
embrace. They're like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in years, whatever.
Yeah.
So Piper talks about the spear finger spirit because they got talking about it. And then she said, hold on. One thing the legend of Spearfinger says is that she's able to shapeshift. Whatever we're dealing with can probably do the same. Our ghost has the ability to appear as whoever or whatever it wants.
Nice.
So we learned that. So we learned that this ghost is probably some sort of, shapeshifter. That's
Gotcha.
why there's like it's a little bit conflicting with some of the physical attributes.
It's like It Follows, kind of.
It literally is
It's
like
like a different.
It Follows, and
Yeah.
it's starting to get a little bit like Stephen King. It a little bit towards
right.
the end with like that.
And this
entity
is
that
where I
changes.
feel like this is just like an overstuffing of information.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, right?
It's like I guess a lot of horror.
And if it was going to change, why not use that to your advantage in the story to have it appear as a bunch of different things in ways that are very confusing and
Right? That could have been
as
interesting.
opposed to like two things.
and they're
it's
like,
like
the
two
most
guys.
basic guy.
Yeah.
I know it could have been interesting. Yeah, that's what a
And I wonder if it
It
opportunity.
Follows really effective as you're kind of like looking in the frame to see what
I
person
wonder if he's
walking
seen It
around
Follows.
could be
Oh,
the
maybe.
thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the whole time you're on edge, you're like, oh my god, is
He's
that
kind of
character?
looking, searching the frame for the walking character. Yeah, it's effective in that way.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Okay, so Piper tells him that you need to trap the spirit in the bottle and the rising sun will take the rest. Okay?
Yeah.
For whatever reason. That's the thing. Okay.
I have
So
some.
she's telling him how to defeat it.
Yeah. So now, which I don't really know why she does that, given okay, whatever. Now, Aiden is getting dizzy. And maybe from the migraines. Yes.
They drink a drink.
Yep.
Dizzy
Why?
from the drink and he collapses.
You saw this,
Wait.
right?
What
Yeah, I
drink
did.
was it?
It was like a tea.
whiskey.
It was like a herbal tea, so it was like that cheesy.
Have a tea.
Is it that metaphysical tea?
Is this
So
supposed
this
to help
is where
protect him
I
from the thing?
realized-
How did she get him to drink it? Because I would be
I
like,
don't know.
no,
It's just like a hospitality thing. Like, here's some tea.
I don't like that. I would never drink tea.
Like a
Served by a
creepy-
witch lady.
I know.
Yeah.
And there's a little detail that she always wanted to be.
Because if stories like this or anything to go by, they're always up to no good.
I know. They get the tropes.
I like that earlier he's like, I admire that she's like different and cool.
Yeah. Well, that
Turns out
comes
she's
up.
evil.
That comes
I
back.
know, and I felt bad, and 'cause she wanted to be like a horror.
You think
Like,
he was doing like a double subversion?
I
Like
know,
he was like,
that's what I
you
was
think I'm
wondering.
gonna think she like you first think the witch is bad, but actually she's cool and new age and interesting and different than all these other rednecks around here.
but no, she's actually still
But
bad.
actually,
I
she is
know.
still bad.
It's
Is that
so
I know.
is that smart
disappointing.
somehow? Or am
It's
I
kind of like
missing
the
something?
thought process y'all go through when talking about stuff. Like, how
Yeah.
much subversion should there?
Yeah. like it turns out like he's not the murderer, but what if it then actually did turn out he was? Like we kind of
in the
trying to,
Thanksgiving movie when we
yeah.
were like the bad cop, like we're like it was the Dempsey guy, Dempsey.
Yeah.
We're like it's not gonna be him because they're not gonna be like, right? They're gonna subvert our, but they didn't, and then I don't know. There was like okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, sorry, Ash.
Okay. So what happens now is that he opens his eyes and his heart sinks when he realizes that. Sorry,
I got
what
some
are you
saliva on
doing?
the mic. I was trying to eat it. Jules thought it was funny.
Oh my god.
All right, sorry. Go ahead. Start over again. We're gonna cut that.
Okay. So he opens his eyes and his heart sinks when he realizes that the Brad Lockhart guy, who's been harassing his ass, is there.
The fucking agency guy, consultant guy?
Yes.
This is getting crazy. This is almost as crazy as Bitch in the Box with a fucking twist at the end of that.
So he is there. So Brad Lockhart has been blowing his ass up, and he's been like sending articles to him about that incident. Like he's just truly harassing him.
Because he's saying like, if you don't do better advertising, I'm gonna expose this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also he wanted his money back.
Yeah, he wanted. Yeah,
that was a big thing that Brad wanted.
Was it like
$1
billion?
It's like no, it was like, but I guess it was like a commission that was big deal because like he. I guess it's not like he's making that. It was like a lot. It was
like
gonna
a deposit or something.
Did this guy hire the witch lady to torture the guy?
Yeah, just like see.
Sorry. Okay. All right.
What chapter are we in?
Chapter 18. Very close. Okay, so Brad starts to Brad starts to talking about him and the incident, and Aiden's like, no, that's not what it was. Wyatt, it was an accident. Like we didn't hurt him. And then, oh my God, I can't. He says, and I died. Brad's voice abruptly changes from one of a grown man to that of a teenage kid.
He's the shapeshifter.
Yeah. Suddenly, his body jerks and convulses, and I think that something has gripped him from inside, something alive and wanting to get out. He sweats and clutches his chest. I watch in horror as he blinks in and out of focus, finally morphing into something else entirely. Then, standing in front of me is Wyatt Thomas.
Wow. So.
You remember Wyatt?
Yeah, he's the one that died.
Yeah.
I already said that earlier. I already know all this. Okay. I
When
knew Brad was a shapeshifter.
comprehension.
No, actually, I didn't know that. But so the guy harassing him is not the ghost, shapeshifting creature ghost guy. It's just Brad. But when it shows up in this instance, it's just the ghost?
Okay, so this might be skipping ahead, but this Brad that we're seeing right now is not the actual Brad.
That's been harassing him.
No, it's the entity. It's the spirit.
I understand that.
Okay.
That's what I guess I'm asking that, but that's what I would assume.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not
So
actually.
Brad was never actually harassing him, even though the whole.
So the ghost was harassing him?
Yeah, he was hacking his
About-
phone.
It was like an
ghost
all.
was like-
Hitting him.
Oh, right. I can seem like I'm really unsatisfied with this advertising work you did for me. Is that what it is?
He was sending. He was like a ghost in the phone too, like sending these emails. So the real.
You
Brad.
guys sure you read this correctly?
Yes, that actually is what
know.
This is
happened.
the plot?
Yes.
Yes,
Jacob does not find it believable.
I swear that
I
really
kinda-
is what
I
happened.
kind
I
of
don't
want
know
to
if I like this.
double check again. All right, keep going.
Okay, so now during this whole exchange, Piper then reveals that she was the one. She pulled a prank. With the flashing blue lights, the police. That wasn't the police was never
had
there.
some sophisticated light system?
Yes, in 1996.
That's stupid.
It's
I
so dumb. It makes literally
This
no
was
sense.
like bitch in the box type.
There's
of
this
con.
scene in Mission Impossible 3. Okay, this is a little bit of a tangent. It's going to take like 15 seconds. But where there's a race against time to do something for some reason. It's some like nuclear bomb or something's going to end the world or some terrorist or something. Okay, whatever. But there's a ticking time bomb scenario. And they've got to figure out a way to get into a building or something. God, this is so bad because I don't remember this part, so I'm describing it poorly. But anyways, I just always thought it was so silly. Even when I was younger and this movie came out, there's a scene where they're trying to figure out a way to like distract some guards or something. So then it cuts and they're shooting. They're like in Hong Kong or something in another country. And there's those things that shoot balls out that you hit with a baseball bat?
Mm-hmm.
like at a batting cage kind of thing.
Yeah, where it throws up.
It cuts and they're using that to shoot balls at a window to like. Dunk, dunk. But it's like it's a race against time. So they went and found a.
They rigged that up to. They went to fun.
Movies do this kind of shit a lot. You're like, well, where the fuck where did they get that? So somebody was like, and they're like, where would that exist in there? Anyway, it was just insane and silly.
And
It's kind of like that. It's like, okay, so what light system did she rig up back in the day when there was no like LEDs?
It's so dumb.
And how would you have had a battery source for it? Because if it's just out in the middle of like the darkness,
This is
it would
something
have been a
Jacob
drop
would not
cord.
let slide.
No, that shit bothers the fuck out of me.
She
Little
doesn't even
details like that.
explain how she did it.
I know she wanted to be a
Because
horror movie director.
Yes.
Maybe she had.
That's stupid. I hate this.
I know.
Okay. That light thing made me more mad than anything.
She claims that she didn't want anyone to get hurt. She just wanted to scare her friends. So what she said is, it was just a prank. I was mad at y'all for the way you've been treating me. Like I was some disease you didn't want around. But I
But
didn't
he
mean to
describes
make
that he
y'all...
likes her before.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was telling you that it's important to remember that, because he's all like, no, I always thought you were really cool. But she's like, no, you've been treating me like some
She's a
disease.
victim.
Like I'm some outcast. So, like I was some disease you didn't want around. But I didn't mean to make y'all panic the way you did. If y'all hadn't played the game, Wyatt wouldn't have been so worked up and run out of there in such a tizzy. He had been clear-headed that night. He wouldn't have tripped. He would have been more careful.
This was the stupidest part too. He
It's
fell. He
so
falls
dumb.
and dies.
Yes.
And like all these, and there's no explanation. All these
she's
characters.
blaming them. Was he affected in such a way that she could now place the blame on them for him dying?
I guess so.
She said he was like anxious.
Because she was in love with him. We find out.
Because, okay, what happens is she wanted to just scare them.
Okay.
But because they all just started running like crazy,
Yeah.
and it kind of caused Wyatt to also run like
She
crazy.
put
And he,
police lights, right?
yeah.
Why wouldn't they be running?
So it's her fault.
I know, it's her fault. It makes no sense.
But are we supposed to think she's stupid here, or are we actually supposed to kind of like buy into her thing?
I don't know. Maybe we were supposed to buy into it. It sounds dumb as hell.
Wait, and also, isn't she? So he just dies by falling and hitting his head or something?
Yeah, he dies from tripping because he was rushing out of there.
That's so stupid. You would.
Is the death of Jackson supposed to parallel the death of Wyatt in some way?
Oh, maybe.
Well, it's secretly.
Well, I don't even know what happened to Jackson. Was he
just was
shot?
lying
he
there.
Stabbed?
Yeah.
No idea. It doesn't ever say.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. Let's wrap this up. Okay.
I know. Okay,
Hit
so
me with a couple more twists. I hope there's a few more.
so Amanda, okay. So remember the shards of glass I was telling you that Kelsey was making some,
necklace?
jewelry,
Yep.
a necklace. Okay. So those shards of glass, Amanda kept those glass from that night as a remembrance of Wyatt.
No, of course.
I know. So she kept it in the metal box. And so Piper knew about this box because Amanda told her at some reunion
That she had done this.
that she had done that. So Piper's like, oh my God, I want to find this because she wants to get some control back with the spirit.
Okay. So there's our spirits. We know this because we saw the shape-shifting demon monster. Okay. So they took a bottle that had a spirit in it, took it to the thing to play the game, and also she's playing a prank, and also she faked sirens, but they also happened to actually legitimately release a ghost all in the same thing.
This is the part where I was confused.
This is so
Yes,
silly.
me too. I'm so confused.
It's like that's
I
like
don't understand.
3 too many like
Things
layers there.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, why can't it just be the ghost?
It
in the
needs to
bottle?
either be the prank or the
or
ghost.
just the prank, and it turns out the ghost isn't real, and the prank was really what was happening there, or whatever. You see what I'm saying? It needs to like pick a lane, I think. Okay, sorry.
I know. No, trust me. I'm really confused by this whole
I'm
thing.
so confused.
I don't understand it. It does not come together in the end. Like, it's not a very well developed story, in my opinion. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it needs a few more drafts. Oh shit, my shit fucked up. Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay,
Like
maybe I could
disconnect.
recreate it. Nope, it didn't do it again.
That was weird. Okay, well, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Okay, so Kelsey is trying to find her dad. And so she looks on her phone. Remember, she has the tracking device on him.
Right.
She's able to track him.
That's called setup and payoff.
Right.
Boys.
So Kelsey
Take
and
notes.
Kelsey and Trish now go in the car and they're driving out to find him. So they go to the building and they're like, "Where is he? Where is he?" They hear a loud noise and they look behind him and Aiden is falling from the roof of a building. Oh yeah, he's jumping from the building.
Yeah, this escape plan. Because he's trying to escape from the crazy woman.
Yeah.
Because he had.
Oh yeah, he's a.
Because she brought out an axe, I think.
Mm-hmm. So now she is rushing with an
It's just
axe.
ridiculous. I'm just letting you know
It's stupid. And so Trish is.
She's just going around with an axe now.
Yeah.
the emo girl, the goth girl.
She also has super cool. Don't insult emo girls like that, okay? So there's a shapeshifting ghost hanging out with her, and she's running with an axe too. What is the shapeshifter doing?
I don't know.
Just chilling.
Well, okay, we'll talk about what they're gonna do.
Didn't he get knocked out by like a drug or something?
Yeah, but remember
he's fine?
he came back and that's when he saw Brad Lockhart and like all that happened.
So he came to when that happened.
Yeah, like he came back
saw
from
that.
the
It was all one continuous.
sorry.
He came
I
to,
should've
and that's
really
when
specified that.
he made his
Okay.
escape plan.
Gotcha.
Now,
That's fine.
woman, Piper is now coming with the axe. And Trish has a gun, so she's trying to shoot her. Call back to Krakoon.
Is Trish like a super cool gun
Kind of
girl?
is a badass.
Yeah.
She works for the county. She's like in charge, like an event planner, I think. But she had like a.
But she has
And
a
this is the part where
gun.
I think it's important to note that this is the part where Trish and Kelsey get close.
Yeah,
Like,
they bond.
Yeah, they're bonding because they're going to save the dad. And they're like, all
Gotcha.
right, let's go.
I love it.
That's a good thing. That's a good point. Okay, so Trish shoots, but she keeps missing Piper. And so finally, the woman, she raises her axe and swings it down over Trish's head. And the blade sinks into Trish's cranium with a sickening crack, blood spattering across the sidewalk. I scream, the sound following away in my dry throat. My dad screams, "No!" He sounds like a wounded animal about to die. The horror of watching him lose another person he loves splits my heart in two. No! Dad's soul splits open, and I can't anymore.
Okay, so Trish dies. Okay, so that at least she died like in a discernible way with the axe.
She had a cool
recognize-
moment at the end. She was like, they finally got close, and she was.
I know.
I mean, I don't hate that she got killed. That's kind of surprising.
I was.
I know,
surprised,
right?
too.
I was surprised by that. It was like a little, but I don't know. It didn't pay off that much because you don't really know this woman that
Right.
well to build that.
If you should have been
emotional
pretty
appeal.
developed, it would have been more like, wow,
Impactful.
yeah, I can't believe she was killed in that way or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But it
what
did take
happens
me
next?
aback. I was
Yeah.
genuinely. Okay, so now Kelsey takes the gun and she pulls the trigger. The gunshot rings out, a deafening crack in the still of night. In front of me, the woman with a small circle of dark red dripping from her forehead tumbles down to the ground. The axe makes a thud against
What was that word? Trumbles?
tumbles, sorry.
Okay, good.
Tumbles to the ground.
I like Trumbles better.
Yeah. Okay,
Sounds
so
like a
with the
dessert
pistol, huh?
Trumbles.
Oh, yeah,
Like a
trumble?
muffin.
Truffles.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
sorry.
with the pistol still in my hand, I run back to Dad, who's dragged himself over to next to Trish and has thrown his body over her. He's very upset
Sure.
that his girl's gone. Okay, so now Dad is telling Kelsey, like, girl, you need to go to the solar panels now because because we need to trap the spirit. Remember with the rising sun?
Yeah,
They have
You're looking at me like I should know what
we
the
kind of skimmed over that part where he comes to the realization, like you went to the part where he's like escaping and jumping off but he basically came to like this like cheesy realization, like solar panels and like there's like a big field of solar panels, and that's why he was like when he was escaping, his aim was to get there and like get the rising sun to reflect on the shards of glass. I think
Yeah.
it's really like contrived
I
again.
don't like any of this. It's pissed
So
me
he tells his daughter to go, and she's like, "What?" And then she goes, right?
Yeah, she goes.
off. Okay.
Okay,
It feels
so
like a Ghostbuster scene.
here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's there, high above me, outstretched arms and open mouth, clearly an old woman with sharp fingernails plunging down on me from the night sky. I fall to the ground and crawl underneath the nearest panel where the fog creature bears down with all its being, blows over the solar panels and then bolts upright, flinching in pain. It twists as the bottom tendrils becomes entangled in the glass. It fights and flails until finally, the nightmare thing itself obliterates into a bright explosion of light, filling the sky with stars.
So it's dead that quick.
Yep.
Wow.
And now, chapter 20, everyone lives happily ever after. The curse has been
So
lifted.
is the dad upset about the? Is he
Yeah.
like find love again immediately?
No, they kind of do this little like festival thing that Trish was planning, but they still go with it anyway because
Gotcha.
she would have wanted that.
Celebrate her. What? Can you read me the last sentence?
Yep, here we go. You ready?
There's a lot of closure.
Did you actually have
happening.
it marked down in your
Yeah, I
notes?
did.
The last sentence. That's a fucking amazing.
All right. and in chapter 20,
I'm so proud of you.
also in chapter 20, he sees Brad Lockhart, and and he's like at a food truck.
like,
I was
"What's up,
thinking,
buddy?"
I was thinking of Strawberry Festival, and he had to remind himself that it was like Brad Lockhart never did all those things, like made his life a living hell.
Brad's just chill.
Yeah, Brad's just chill dude.
Yeah.
You like Brad? Okay.
It was fine.
And he goes to you learn he goes to therapy and like unlocks all these he's like finally started going to therapy. Our main guy. So in chapter 20 you learn he's like going to therapy as long as he has his dog.
Right. So everything's great.
Okay.
And Kelsey's going to college. Things are great.
Studying art, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like her
So-
mom was an
Is
artist.
there a denouement?
No, not really.
No.
No, there's no day
All
anymore.
right, hit me with that last sentence.
You ready?
Okay.
As if a curse has been lifted, as if Saluda has always celebrated life, Kelsey sees me approaching and smiles. Most beautiful thing in the world.
Wait, read that quote one more time. Start with "It's as if,"
Why?
because I think that's a better.
All right, do it again. Here we go.
As if, because it explains. Because like you're saying as if.
Hmm?
Because it goes into as if.
Oh. It's as if terror never overtook this town to begin with. As if a curse has been lifted. As if Saluda has always celebrated life. Kelsey sees me approaching and smiles. Most beautiful thing in the world.
Wow. I missed the
Man.
doo-doo vomit, green penis,
I know, right?
triceratops,
This was.
ding-dong.
I'm sorry. I was bored as hell the entire time. I mean, I was telling Julia, like, this book was putting me to sleep.
But it did give me
Literally.
an idea for a short film. Okay, so
I know. I think Jacob got some inspiration from this.
I'm gonna credit my boy Bryce. Okay. I don't know. I mean, is spin the bottle? Is it? I mean, that's pretty universal. I don't have to cut all this out so nobody knows I stole this from him.
I mean, we should look up spin the bottle short films to see what exists because I'm sure there's.
there
so-
is absolutely one.
Yeah,
has
just like
to
there's
be.
got to be like 7 minutes.
But I feel like maybe we could make it more doper.
Yeah, you'll be subversive.
No.
Oh. This is a book I'd have to like. See. I guess he left breadcrumbs, but they weren't obvious enough for me.
Yeah.
They were not obvious, no. Because I feel like one too, because I was talking about this earlier. It's like, when you finish something, there's like a twist. You're like, oh, that explains this. That explains that. I got none of that. I just got confusion.
You were just like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Nothing. It did
guess
not
'cause
come
the
So
bread-
Bryce should just write a nice slice of life story. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
right?
detail.
Also, his migraines went away by then.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
what
true.
the fuck was up with the migraine?
That's the thing that he kept bringing up. I guess the migraines were part of. Right? They did go away, right?
Yeah, because it started 30 years ago when that happened, the migraines.
So that's something he
That doesn't
never
make sense.
ceased to bring
What does
up
that
was
have-
the freaking migraine.
What does that have to do with anything?
I forgot.
Okay, go. We got
Wait, so how long ago did they do the thing? 30 years?
Yeah,
Oh, so we're supposed to believe that his wife died as a result of this spirit?
yeah.
So it's just kind of, sort of, maybe kind of haunting them for 30 years. So, like, one bad thing's happened with his wife, but other than that, it's mostly been pretty chill up until this moment where the book takes place and all this shit starts going down all of a sudden.
Wait,
Yeah.
did another
Does that make
person
sense?
die from it?
Huh?
Did the other girl die from it?
What girl?
The other girl that was at. Oh wait, no, never mind. That was his wife.
Okay, I feel like maybe there's something I'm missing. I'm going to read this, okay?
You are?
Yeah.
Yay!
I don't know, maybe not. Actually. But
Maybe you can pick
maybe
on
there's
something
some
we
stuff in
didn't.
here. I'll say this, and I say this a lot, I think, because I'm just hearing this stuff and kind of judging it, and that's sort of the fun of this a little bit. But I've always got to have the caveat of maybe there's some stuff here that I'm not aware of that kind of makes some things work a little better for me, but I'd have to read it. So, but it's fun just kind of hearing it through your, like channeled through you guys.
Unless I'm like really forgetting something, I don't think we're forgetting something.
Yeah.
I really don't. It's just a
So-
really confusing book. I'm still confused.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
But
I reread it multiple times. I have no idea.
But there are some, there's some good moments. It doesn't go beyond the bottom shelf. But
No, yeah. For me, it does not go beyond the bottom shelf. I thought it was going to be a little bit more because like the premise of like, oh yeah, spirit comes from a spinning of the bottle. You're like, oh my God, that sounds like crazy. It wasn't. Okay, so we believe that I'm sorry, it doesn't go beyond the bottom shelf. It was a bit tame for me, but that's okay. We still like reading stuff that.
But its tameness is not necessarily the problem. It's just like
I
the
know.
storytelling,
No,
right?
it is.
Okay.
There's other
But
problems.
if it would have been better if there was some of that in here to kind of help punch it up a little bit.
yeah, wanted more
Yeah.
axes and heads.
Yeah.
Right, it needed some gore. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So next time we are gonna read
Clock.
Oh, okay. Nice. I'm excited to hear more about it.
Yeah, it'll be a fun episode. It may be a short
Yeah.
one. This
Cock.
one might be long.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah. No, this one's long as fuck, but we're gonna edit the fuck out of it too.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
this one's
But
fine, too.
edit me out saying that.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Well, I guess we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.